Edition of the magazine right here in the studios with you this morning. So glad you can be here. Where we are, it's rainy out there. So we're asking all of you, if you can hear my voice and you're on the roadways in the Houston, Galveston area, drive carefully out there, won't you? It is a rainy, cloudy day in Houston, and the weather persons say that there is more of that ahead, so be aware of that. Meanwhile, thank you for joining me here on The Source this morning. A special guest coming up in our 10 o'clock hour. Tamara Bell joins us, and that's going to be an interesting conversation because we're talking about voting. We're talking about voting, and we want you involved, not just in the conversation. We want you to be at that ballot box. The election day is May 26th, but early voting is going on right now, and we'll be able to tell you about some of those locations. You stay with us right here.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
If we don't win the midterms, they'll find a reason to impeach me.
Donald Trump's crypto cronies and mega allies are coming after me because I laid the foundation for his impeachment. When you have the courage to challenge power, you get threatened.
You ain't gonna impeach nobody, you f***er. You'll be hanging from a tree.
Hey, Al Green, we got an impeachment for you. It's gonna
Oh, family. Boy, what an embarrassing you are.
You better tell Al Green to watch his back. He might wind up dead. Act the way he just acted.
These are some of the many threats I get. I'm Al Green, and I approve this message because I'm not afraid to take a stand.
Early vote, May 18th through the 22nd. Election day is Tuesday, May 26th. Political ad paid for by Keep Al Green in Congress.
The Force Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassion with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
From the backwoods of Mississippi to the bright lights of Chicago.
And leaving would be the last thing on my mind. If I could turn back the hands of time.
From the backwoods of Arkansas to the bright lights of Chicago. A 1969 #1 million seller.
Can I change my mind?
A 1969 #1 million seller. CD.
So good to be home with you.
JT.
Only my woman can.
Tyrone Davis. Johnny Taylor. It's a classic showdown. Coming soon on 1230 KCOH. The Source.
Yes, indeed, the Source. Good morning to you. We thank you for being here with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about what's going on around the globe, in our country, in our state, and in your neighborhoods with the homies. We'll find out what's going on across the world this morning. And we thank you for being here with us. Of course, you know, Election Day. Election Day is May 26th. That's right. Election Day is May 26th. But it is important. And your vote does matter when you cast it. And that makes it more effective. But even after doing that, the real work lies ahead. You still have to do it. You still have to get out. You have to monitor the people you vote for. You have to have conversations with them. You have to have interaction. And now it's so comfortable because you can use online. You can go online, those of you who have internet, and check in on the city council meetings. You can check in on local government. For that matter, there are other organizations that are online. C-SPAN has an ongoing platform of political news. You can hear Senate subcommittee hearings. That's how deeply they are into it. So you can find out about the civic process. You can see how bills get through the different committees they have to go to. You can find out about some of these committee members. And if you've gorged on that, and that's more than you want to know, once you decide what you want to know, you can ease up, you can back out, but you can see how these things are done rather than making up your mind with conversations from people you hear on the radio. Yes, I said on the radio. Yes, on digital, online media, on televisions, all of those things. You can follow some of these people that you actually have opinions about, and you may see how they perform. And it will at least confirm you'll be speaking with an opinion based on your experience. You know, people love to talk about you know experience of it, and if you don't have it from experience or observation, then more than likely you're just going by what someone else says that appeals to some part of you. And this is why we say the living is to be done on the inside. This is how you get where you are really expressing yourself, building your life from your experiences and observations. Those things that happen to you, those things that you know of firsthand that happened to someone else. These are the things that highlight our opinions for the most part. And of course, as I said, sometimes the secondhand experiences come from reading or observing other people. There's not one of us who can have every experience in life. One of the things you find when you begin living more from the inside, you can discover magnificence in yourself. You can discover your courage and apply it. And sometimes you wind up disproving people when people have taught you or implied that you were not enough, you were not dark enough, you were not light enough, you were not tall enough, you were not beautiful, you were always something less than. And a daily drumbeat of that, particularly if it's in your home, through your family, your friends or your neighbors, people whose opinions you value coming up, you can internalize that. Now, we're not talking about being delusional now, objective stuff. You know, we're not talking about things that reasonable people pretty much agree on and they can point to and see that it's there. We're not talking about denying the existence of a reality, but we are talking, even as we acknowledge the reality of certain things, we know that those things are more fluid than we think. We look at things, they appear to be very rigid, structured, and unforgiving, and then we find out somebody else comes along. One person comes along and says, no, this is not the way this has to be. And so I'm going to invest my energy in making a difference. And that's what we're asking you to do when you vote. Get that part of you, that thing that's in your head about, you've been told it doesn't matter. What are you going to do? It doesn't matter what you do. Well, it does matter what you do because it matters to you. It can matter to how you feel about yourself. And feelings are important. Feelings are said to be the language of the soul. And there's a good reason for that, because sometimes your body is telling you things that you otherwise would not pay attention to. It's trying to get your attention. And so with that, we say good morning to you. Remember, all the good stuff is on the inside of you. Look inward. You know, he who looks outward dreams, says Carl Jung, but he who looks inside awakens. And so that's a great thing. We are going to tell you about that voting this morning. We're going to have a further conversation. I've got Miss Tamara Bell. She is going to join me this morning, and again, we are going to talk about voting and this election that is coming up. This election is going on. This election is going on right now, and I've told you that you can go to some of the voting places nearby. The Wyndham Houston near NRG Park Medical Center, the Gulf Coast room over there. Early voting is taking place right now from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Those polls will be open until 7 p.m. tonight. And the HCC West Loop South, the Houston College South, room C108, 5601 West Loop South. The Sunnyside Health and Medical Service Center in the auditorium over there, they're accepting your votes. You can get your early voting done there, 1102 in the room over there, 1102, and 4410 Reed Road. Also, the Hiram Clark Multi-Service Center auditorium is located at 3810 West Fuqua Street. So go there as well. And then we've got other locations. How about the Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church Fellowship Hall, and the Fountain of Life Center right here in Houston, 14,083 South Main Street. .com. You can go to harrisvotes.org. You can go to harrisvotes.com or either one of those, and you can pull up the ballot there as well, and you can see what's in your particular precinct, what you are voting for there. And if you put in your name, you put in your last name, first name, middle initial, address, and hit search, and it will tell you whether you are registered or not as a Democrat or a Republican. And you know how you've declared yourself. There is a Democratic Party sample ballot. There is a for May 26th, and there is a Republican Party sample ballot. You can click on either one of those and see what is on your ballot. And Put in your name. It will. The site will let you know if they show you as registered. May as well check this now because this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it, my friends. So you go online. Be sure that you are registered, and then you can take a look at what's on your ballot. I'm looking at the ballot for District 18 right now, which is an important race, a marquee race for many of us. It pits Christian Deshaun. Ken Paxton in the upcoming race. For the Democrats' lieutenant governor, it is Marcos Asias Velez versus Vicky Goodwin. And you go online, you'll see these ballots. You get the opportunity to look at the people who are competing, and you can make your own determination from there, my friends. If you're voting Republican, then you simply click on the Republican ballot. You click on the Republican Party ballot. It'll show you May 26th. And I'm looking at John Cornyn versus Ken Paxton. That's the Republican primary. Now, Ken Paxton has been endorsed by President Trump. John Cornyn will have some heavy lifting to do if he is to prevail. But the winner of this match will be the standard bearer for the Republicans, and in the match between Menifee and Green, one of those will be the Republicans will be the Democratic standard bearer. Also, in District 7, Tina Coyne of the Republican Party versus Alexander Hale of the Republican Party. And in District 9, the Republican contest will be between Briscoe Cain and Alex Mueller. Now, District 9 has become the and extended into the 18th district, or they brought the 18th district in there. They brought the 18th into 9. So those are the races there, though. But you go online, get familiar with the issues, and again, I want to direct some of you to an important article that I think we all should share and talk about this morning, because I like you knowing what's going on away from celebrity voting in politics, so that we can talk about issues instead of saying, "Oh yeah, I follow so and so." You know, what about the issues? What are they doing? My guy, my woman, my person, that's the one I'm championing. This is kind of a team, you know. Teams are like tribes. They are versions of tribes, and the truth is, we've got to see what's good for everybody. You're standing up and cheering as the ship sinks because you may have satisfied that emotional part of you that says, "I'll show them they can't get away with that." And then they're left to, we are reduced to ashes. But there are people who would rather rule over the ashes than survive with the opportunity to thrive. There are people like that. I'm referring this Sherlyn Ifill story to you this morning. You can find it in Newsbreak and some of the other publications online, but I think you should really read it. I'll share part of it with you. Texas is the sleeping giant. Civil rights attorney Sherlyn Ifill says black voters are leaving power on the table. If you're one of those persons who denigrates or dismisses or marginalizes the importance of voting, perhaps you should read this and at least hear her perspective or get a view of her perspective. She has written an article on it, and she's urging Black Americans to rethink the political map of the United States. I'm reading from this article. I want to be sure she gets full credit here. Arguing that Texas, not traditionally spotted southern states like Mississippi or Georgia, holds the key to expanding Black political power nationwide. You let that sink in. We hold the key here. I do, actually, to be honest with you, I just really began to see and hear more about the Black population in Houston, Texas, and people pass over it almost like it's nothing. And I do think it's because we're not densely populated, and so we hear conversations about Atlanta, Georgia a lot. You hear about Georgia, and you hear about places in Mississippi and Alabama, South Carolina, because we have prominent figures there, and so we hear a lot about these places, right? But in comments captured and shared on Instagram by Houston blogger Erica Harrison, shouts out to you, Erica Harrison, who did this blog who had this story called Black Girls Who Brunch. Eiffel said many people misunderstand where the largest Black population in America actually resides. The article goes on to say, what is the state that has the largest number of Black people? Eiffel asked. I didn't say the largest percentage. The state that has the largest number of Black people in the state is Texas. The state that has the largest number of Black people in their state is Texas. Some of you who've been out on the road a lot, you travel for your job, or those of you who are in entertainment, when you said Texas, I know what I thought when I came here, and this was like a bazillion years ago, 50, I guess over 50 years ago. It's like, I was going to Houston, I had no idea. I just thought, I'd see parades maybe from Houston, and it was white cowboys, on TV with their horses doing tricks and all of that kind of thing. And I found out once I came and arrived and settled here, and so much so because I really love the place. The climate is perfect. I began to see how perfect it was. And as I moved around the country, if you say you're from Texas, people ask you, how's everything on the Ponderosa? Or they just shorten everything to, hey, Tex. And they have this image of Texas. That one nickname, if you tell somebody you're from Texas, they shorten it all to, hey, Tex, and that's because they have that. It's easing some now. It's broadening some now, but ourselves, we sound like we can get isolated sometimes from the rest of the urban population. Gwen Eiffel calls Texas the sleeping giant. She argues that Black political organizing efforts have not adequately matched the state's demographic and electoral potential. We want you all to pay attention here. This is why we're going in on this. This is one of the reasons we go in on voting, because we haven't maximized what we can do. We are not maximizing what we can do. And think what would happen if we maximized both our political power and then used our social cohesion to create economic platforms. But let's not discount voting as a part of that. These are not mutually exclusive concepts. You can be economically strong, but when you've got a political underpinning or a base that you can begin with, first of all, it makes you less dependent. Now, to some extent, we're all going to be, and let's face it, let's just face this truth. In any government, somebody's always dependent on government. I don't care I shouldn't say I don't care, despite what people will say. You got corporations. What do you think why do you think Elon Musk is tied to Donald Trump or Peter Thiel? You think these people ignore government? No. They use it to get political power, and then they use that political power to increase their economic position. We've got to stop making the perfect the enemy of the good. The thing may not be perfect, but it shouldn't keep us from doing that thing which is good. And Ms. Eiffel captures that. And I appreciate her thinking so much. I just think she's a brilliant woman, brilliant attorney, and she has proven so herself to be that. She pointed to what she described as a major gap between black voter strength and voter turnout in the state of Texas. Now, according to her remarks, black Texans make up roughly 20% of the state's electorate, while Latino voters account for another 22%. She says the turnout numbers the math is not mapping, she said. So we are leaving power on the table. Don't fight that thought right now when you hear me saying that. Don't go to a reflexive, defensive position trying to think of, oh, no, wait, that can't be true. Just accept that for a moment, all right? We'll wrestle with it later. Her comments arrive as voting rights, redistricting battles, and voter mobilization efforts continue dominating national political conversations ahead of the midterm elections. Texas has become a focal point in debates surrounding voter access, demographic shifts, and the growing influence of black and Latino communities in statewide politics. Eiffel, the former president and director counsel of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, has long been one of the nation's leading voices on civil rights litigation, and that she has. She's also been there for voting rights protections and racial justice advocacy. I notice that she's just not, she has, in the years, maybe it's 15, 20, I want to say, that I began noticing her maybe 20 years back. It may even be longer now. I'm at that point where age slips away. I don't even remember how far some things go back. But she was there. She was just young and brilliant and appearing on these shows. And she has not lost that edge for explanation, for analysis. She has not lost that edge. She is sharp. She is focused. And she knows the issues. She has argued before the Supreme Court. So she is well-versed in the subject matter. Her remarks resonated online because they reframed Texas not simply as a Republican stronghold, but as an under-organized center of potential coalition power. To the extent we're not all eyes on Texas and the money is not coming to Texas, the resources to organize not only registration but turnout of the black vote, we're doing ourselves such a disservice. There's another nugget to hold on to. To the extent that the Democratic Party, or any party actually really, but the Democratic Party here, it is not utilizing its black man and woman power, its black intellectual power, it's doing a disservice to us universally, no matter in what state we live. But it does a disservice to our national discourse and our national position. Rather than excluding organizing efforts in other states, Eiffel stressed that Texas should become central to the long-term strategy for black political influence in America. It has to be a critical part of the vision of black political power in this country, she said. Again, it has to be a critical part of the vision of black political power in this country. And I'm going to inject here and say, see, here's a place where two things cannot exist together in the same way at the same time. You can't be a critical part of the black political power movement in this country and at the same time divorce yourself from caring and voting in or help getting engaged in the political process. You can't write it off, describe it as weak and, well, feckless, to use a word from yesterday. Your involvement is necessary. Now, her remarks quickly circulated across social media. This is one of the reasons I'm sharing them with you, with many users agreeing that national political conversations often underestimate Texas's black electorate and overlook the organizing opportunities within the state's rapidly diversifying population. You see, sometimes we underestimate ourselves. Other people are beginning to wake up to it, to awaken to it. But it sounds like sometimes we're just in a petty mindset. All we know is our community, our district, what I'm doing there, and who's been there, and what did they do, and they did something I remember from them. I remember them when they were 30 years old, and I remember what they did when we were in college together, and that was no good then. And you got these old stories and old memories sometimes that recycle themselves. And in doing so, we ensilo ourselves, and we don't get information flowing. The information that maybe should be going out from us is not getting out and reaching the broader playing field, because the things and the information and the gossip that we took in from 20, 30 years ago is still stuck with us. And so for many of us about, I don't know what they do, it's like, oh, I heard that they did this, they did that, they spoke to my brother wrongly, they didn't include my sister that time, they did that. And some of us don't forget. Some of us don't let, and it's not that you have to forget, but some of us don't let go, or we don't even build on the things that may have hurt us. And there's a way, it takes some doing. I'm not a perfectionist at it, but we see it. There are examples. People take those things that were meant to harm them, and they sit with them for a minute and decide that instead of stewing in it, they roll their sleeves up and get involved. Again, it is about the man in the arena. And I got to stop saying that, just a man. And it's about the person in the arena. The person who is willing to know this might fail in the eyes of some. It might fail in actuality. But what will I learn from it? One of the things that caught my attention about the tech scene and the Steve Jobs of this world and the Bill Gates during their interview process at these companies a few years ago, they would ask their employees not about school, not about your grades. Tell me about the last job you had, and then if there wasn't any job there, it's like some people may come in just applying and haven't been in the workplace like that before. They would ask this interesting question. Tell me about one of your failures and tell me what you learned from it. Wow. You let that sit for a moment, huh? because we put on our face, as Akua likes to point out. And we do. We wear the masks. We wear the mask, in the words of Frantz Fanon. We do. We got a morning face. We got a face for we got a face for our friends in our social circle. We got a face when we want to appear kind of tougher to people we think are our adversaries. But before you put that face on, you know the truth. What have you failed in? And what did you learn from it? That's a powerful assessment for life, whether you're trying to get a job in a company or not. I don't care what you're doing. What a powerful question to ask yourself. And can you answer it truthfully, answering it by saying, yeah, I know somebody else had a part in this. I'm not saying ignore what someone else may have done to you, but can you answer it and not put all of the blame on that person? Because no matter whatever you tell me happened to you, you may not have been able to control the outcome of it, and by no stretch of the imagination is everything bad that happens to you your fault. Or not saying that. But, if you can just get to the point where you say, well, I had a choice, and I chose to go this route, what a big thing that is. What a big thing that is. So Shirley and Eiffel talking about black voters. And listen, I know you're going to, for 5-6 years now, I know I'm going to get the calls about what these people did, what they did, and what we can't do, and it'll shake out in two ways. Somebody will be claiming that what happened to us collectively is our own fault, and somebody else will be claiming that none of it is our fault, and that's just not true. Shirley and Eiffel is saying that a conversation has to be started. So I heard I heard it was that Bo who said that he went to see Jasmine Crockett, and she's talking about a political action committee. But yeah, moving beyond. This election is going to have to be about turning out our own troops, and not just turning out to vote, turning out to get involved, turning out to make a difference, turning out to say, we see what you're doing. I see what's going on now. I don't like it. Now, if you do like it, then you pretty much set. You're in a good place. You're in a good place, because there are people who are reasonable and sane, and they can see the world differently. But for those who don't, if this is a tough time for you and you think you don't want more of this, now's your opportunity to grow beyond your own grievance and talk about how we settle this, and for heaven's sake, talk about holding the people we vote for. Tell me what your plan is. Tell me what your plan is. Have them, and go to the, if you can't go to the town meetings where they are, go online. Go online. I came to admire Isaiah Martin, who was a candidate during the last election. And I got it by going online. Well, I was at a couple of places where he spoke personally. He was a very personable young man. And I like his reasoning, right? But I followed that. And we played the debate between, I think it was Amanda Edwards, Christian Menifee, Isaiah Martin, and there was one other brother who was there. We played it, and the numbers for some of that stuff is not great. It's not great. I'm not here to do this for entertainment sake alone. I'd like it to be engaging, but actively being engaged means shoring up your own knowledge. It means moving away from maybe the comfortable talking points and analyzing them. I don't say you have to throw away your own argument, But just look at some of the things that come to reflexively, come responsively, or come reactively to you. Some things we may be a bit reactionary about. We just have a reaction instead of responding. We have a reaction, and we hear certain things, and it's always been that way since we were in our 20s or in our teens even, and now that we're in our 40s and 50s, the same cues, the same external stimuli creates that same thought in your head. Maybe it's time to re-examine some of those thoughts. And maybe it's time to broaden our idea of what it means to be involved. So we're going to get to that. The conversation is going to be about voting, and if you're calling me to say, what do we ever get about voting? Then you just take a break today. All right? I can't tell you what you did to get out of voting. What was the reason you voted? I know this. You just cannot convince me that something that is woven into the Constitution that we should be telling the people who are the most vulnerable, who number in that category, or certainly more vulnerable, should be the ones to step aside first and ignore the way the country is run. That just doesn't work. So yeah, we're going to be talking about voting. You vote the way you desire. And when you hear people on our air at certain times, these are commercials that we run, and that's what we do. We are not a civic organization set up to babysit you, to convince you and coddle you, convince you to vote. Some things are just not debatable, or if they're debatable, they may be debatable with your friends in the cigar lounge or the barber shop or at home or family reunions. But there's some things are not just public debate like that. See, they just don't resonate like that because there's not enough forward motion in that argument some things you're going to have to discover for yourselves. Whether voting is worth it for you or not, you are going to have to determine. And if you say, well, I don't think we should vote. I got no argument with you. I got no argument with you. That's you. That's you. I'm sure as the Dickens, I'm not going to try to convince you that you should be voting. I'm just going to give you some facts, or what I conceive to be facts, and you're going to have to make up all of that, make up your mind about all of that stuff for yourselves. We are the source. Good morning. Good morning, callers. I do see you, and we are going to get with you before we get to the day's headlines, because after our 10 o'clock hour, after we speak with Mr. Mara Bell, we are going to talk about what's going on around the world. Hello, caller. Good morning. How are you?
Am I the first one, Paris?
Well, it looks like it. It looks like it, my friend. I don't have I don't have ID on this phone, so it's got to be. I hear that voice.
I love my stick. I love being first, ladies.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Where do I start? Okay, I'll start with Paris. Obviously, he likes the article. Just insert instead of black, brown, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
In the state of Texas, I mean, brown people are leaving more on the table in terms of everything that article implied. I mean, it's a numbers thing, okay? So
yeah,
yes,
we gave the percentages 20% to 22%.
No,
2%.
Yeah, but in terms of leaving, that's just the sleeping giant is the brown population. Okay?
Yes, yeah.
If they ever get to voting, like this article encourages. There is no question. It's not debatable. Okay, I don't. It's a numbers game, and that's the part of the article that I said. Just insert brown instead of black, and it applies even more so in terms of power. So you can slice numbers all in any way you can, But at the end of the day, in Texas, there's no debate. But parents,
Whoa,
Beverly
wait. When you say there is no debate, I'm
And
saying let me reframe the story. So I just want to
total population.
yeah. Now she was talking about percentage of the population, but remember the purpose of her article is to say that black voters are leaving power on the table.
Right.
Okay,
right.
so
And
that's
I
kind of a
just
different,
insert-
right.
insert Brown.
There you
So
go,
that's
yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
And they're leaving brown people. Leaving more, ladies and gentlemen. The sleeping giant. That's what I said, and you heard me. You heard me. Okay. Moving on. Where was? Oh yeah, Tallarico will be facing Paxton because Paxton was nominated. Maybe I misheard you. When
Tallarico.
Yeah. You were referring to implying or
Paxton and Corner.
No. You were saying about the local district race here.
Oh yeah.
And implying that they're going to be facing Paxton or something. Other people have heard it, but it's cool. It's just some.
No, it's Cornyn. I was reading the ballot here. Cornyn and Paxton. Cornyn and Paxton are in the primary, and yesterday Donald Trump endorsed Ken Paxton.
No.
Yeah.
And other people heard it, okay? And I right away, when I hear it, because I follow politics, I say, wait a minute. But
because I don't want to mislead people. What is it that you thought I was saying, though?
You were mentioning the race locally, District 18.
And
you didn't say it directly, but you moved on or.
Okay, yeah. I thought that I said it shows on the ballot United States Senator for the Republican Party. So let me rephrase that, and I thank you for that oversight. If that is indeed what I did. In the race on the Republican side. Right now, the primary is between Ken Paxton and John Cornyn, and Ken Paxton has the blessings of the President of the United States, and I was saying that will make a heavy lift for John Cornyn. Now, in District 18, it is Representatives Al Green and Christian Menifee facing off, and those are the district races. That's the district race for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know you know this.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of.
Sure.
Where was I going? Oh yeah. No. Speaking of my guy, ladies and gentlemen, Massey. I mean, it was a no-brainer. He was out. If there's no debate. If President Trump doesn't like you right now as a Republican, you have he has the power. I mean, you're scared of him, Paris. And if you go against him, you're out of it. So,
do you think that's a good thing for the country?
For the country?
Yeah. Do you think? I'm sure it's a winning thing for him, right? Because he's got the power. But now, all things being equal, now, do you think that is a good policy for Congress people to take towards any president? Now, let's talk like we all got to live in America and that we want it to be a certain way. Do you think that's a good thing?
Okay, you. At first, I was right away. I know what I wanted to say. Do you think it's good for the country? But now you're saying for the Congress or which?
No, I'm saying Is it good for Congress people to do that? Is it good for ongoing? Is it good for democracy as we know it today?
Okay. See how closely I listen.
You do. Yes, good.
Yeah, you know I listen.
Sure, absolutely. And I appreciate it. Yeah.
No. I mean, it's good for who. We're not in one America, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on a different side than Paris. That's fair to say. And so there is no one way of doing it, or how we interpret, or what we think in terms of what's good for me is good for the country.
Okay,
or what's
I
good-
will ask you. I will ask you the question this way then: do you think that a policy that allows this, describing what you just mentioned about the president having the power to run off Congress people because they disagree, do you think that's good for your side?
Yes, because my side, and listen carefully how I'm going to answer. My side is basically my guy, and my guy, long after he 2028, when another president will come, he will have gotten more money than you can even imagine. He's doing more things that will take, some people say, 10 to 20 years to recover. And even if Democrats get in power, they're not going to be in power for 10 or 20 years. It changes every now and then. So he has more impact.
So you think that the impact he has, even if it lasts 20 years, you think that his policies are do you think his policies are benefiting you now? Which one do you think benefits you? Is it Medicaid? Sure, tell me the one you think he's doing right now that benefits you.
Okay. What benefits me emotionally, internally.
Right. Does it make you better? Does his policy give me a policy that makes it better for you economically? And you and I know you're rolling in dough. You're rolling in dough, so I know you're going to be all right. But I'm saying, but I'm saying by extension.
You read my mind. I'm closer to death than I am to how can we work this for you and I middle age? So I'll be fine. Trust me on that one. So
do you think it'll be fine for let's pursue this way. Right now, Latino voters, right now in this moment, the polls show the dreaded, over touted polls. So they are both. They are anything but people want them to be. Right? Show that he's losing 40% of Latinos now. Do you think those 40% of Latinos are turning from him because they dislike his policies, or do you think it's something they're missing that's good for them and they just don't know it?
No. I would say that they're informed and doing what's best for each one of them. Because right now,
but it's 40% of them. It's 40% of them, which is larger than they're just about equal. It's a little larger than the 30% in his base. Is what I'm saying. So do you think his policy, those people, out of that Latino population you're talking about, they're 40% of the people who seem to think that his policies are not working for them, or there's something about his policies that they would alter, and so they are not going to fit in. That's the sleeping giant thing. A part of that giant, just like it is on the black side. Go ahead.
You're basing it on polls, and we can keep going.
Well, I'm basing it on percentages and outcome. Current outcomes.
You're better than that. You're not trying to got you taking life.
Right.
Just going back and forth.
Yeah. Right. There you are.
And eventually the sleeping giant, which is the brown people, will wake up, and I've said this before. They'll vote, and the vote will turn into power, economic, and on and on and on. But where was I? Oh yeah. My guy, the Massey. There's certain.
Go ahead. Okay? Yeah, go ahead. It's just that when you say my guy now, I know what that is. Okay, go ahead.
And look, Massey. I mean, when you get whooped, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm referring to Massey, take it like a man. You heard.
Well, it's funny. That's what he said. That right? That's what Cassidy said. He said, when you lose, don't claim that you got cheated. and that's the way men behave. When did it become okay to just involve yourself in something, and when it goes south, and you instigated it, you say, they cheated me. They cheated me. Anything you win biggest. It's the biggest in the world, and when you lose, you can't find any fault. You can't find any fault. But
And ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
see how I worded this and how I'm leading this guy, and that's Trump. The Democrats, don't you ever, you're the goody two shoes out there. If you become like Trump and when you lose, you blame it on someone, or you don't accept losing, it was rigged. You don't want that, okay? So why don't you rather lose everything and keep your dignity, your pride, your
Well, see, but I think that's okay if you're trying to save something. I think I think it's a matter of values. Now, if you wanna lose and have this big win, but it's ashes afterward, and everybody else is, it's like the little cartoon about the little old lady who's driving down the street, and she is so pleased with herself. She the caption said, I mean, she's such a safe driver. And then in the foreground of the cartoon, in the background, there's all of these cars and people who have swerved into lampposts and everything trying to miss her. She's oblivious of them. She thinks she's a great driver. All right, and look at the carnage that's been left behind. And this is what I don't see a policy, returning to policy. Now I'm trying to tie this all into policy. What policy does he have that has shown the promise of helping the country survive?
And that leads me to something which can go on and on, but eventually we.
I just like you to name one. But look, okay, let's go to Iran war. Let's go to healthcare. Let's go to the hollowing out of the generals. We can go to those things.
And humanitarian. I've heard you.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Look, and I suppose I should. Oh yeah, he could have. My friend Pat could have, and I call him my friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Coke, and I could have I like bourbon and Coke right now, and we could talk about this for hours and days. And then, like when I was a hippie, we at the end would just say, "Okay, we disagree," like that song said. But where was I go? Oh yeah, and look, some people still are stuck, ladies, and it shouldn't be this way. It's the way it is, which I bring up a lot. It's no longer about policy, ladies and gentlemen. Politics is different. That if you think it's about politics, no, name recognition, money spent. He just endorsed Paxton. Can you imagine how much money is going to be spent on beating Taralicko? He can do anything. It's about power, control, and some people still policy. But last but not least, look, in Georgia, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll tell you that on the side by the election. Where's my guy Jackson when I need him? The total vote out. I'm saying it right. The total voter turnout in the entire state of Georgia, 14%. 14%. In Georgia, a southern state, that is pitiful. I could cry, but I'll laugh at that. And look at the turnout next week when Jackson comes in on District 18 and on. But keep doing what you're doing, pal. You're doing a wonderful job, okay?
All right. Okay, Texas Mike. Thank you so much. And I know I was like, as you guys know, doing this with the phones here, and I'm looking for a call. We are going to a political call here in a few moments. All right there. Pardon the dead air. Pardon the silence. I see the others of you holding on. But we're talking about voting and the importance of it. And I've got somebody here who can engage on this on this subject and this conversation. And this is going to be a political conversation. We're going to talk about voting, and we're going to talk about politics ahead. So you just hold on. You just hold on a moment, and we've got Tomorrow Bill joining us, and we'll be back in just a moment.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
All right, as part of our conversation about voting, we've got a very prominent activist from our community. She's a civic community leader and political commentator as well. She serves as a longtime president of the McGregor Super Neighborhood. That's number 83. I think it's 83, right? Correct. Good. And she's also a board member for the Harris County Resources for Children and Adults. Top of the show, I got to thank you for the work that you do with children and adults. You are just the personification of persistence. You just keep moving right ahead. You keep moving right ahead, and you keep you keep the rest of the organizations moving as well. And it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Paris. Thank you very, very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here with your listeners at such a critical time. You know, we always see us question when we lose people in our lives, and we wonder why they're no longer here, but we never sit and ask the question, why are we still here? We are still here because it is us who must stand up for those who come in behind us. As they try to traverse us back to the 1950s, as they try to make our voices silent, make our words, our reasoning, our lives irrelevant to them, it is time for us to be on the battlefield for each other. And then when you hear an order from someone you know does not like you, does not care about you, and the only success they have is if you fail, you must stand up and do what is right. At this pivotal time, we have Congressman Al Green and Christian Menifee running for what used to be the 18th Congressional District. This new district is 70% 9. It is 25% 18, and then the other 5 for various districts. They tried to do this while Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee was alive in 2021, and we fought against it. And I'm telling you, this has been their dream to erase these districts. Now with the Louisiana Supreme Court, they're trying to do it across the nation. They're trying to make sure there are no African-American or Hispanics or Chinese or any ranking members of Congress left in Congress. In Texas, in case you don't know, I will let you know, we have no other ranking African-American males or females left in this state. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee went home to be with the Lord, as did Eddie Bernice Johnson. Al Green is our last defense. He has proven consistently he's not scared of Trump. Other people want to protect their future. They want to protect their future money, their future interests. They don't give a damn about us. They don't care. Absolutely don't care. So, I mean it. We have got to show up. They're so happy it is raining. They're so happy that we are not voting. We need to get up and vote and take people with us to go vote. Because it's not, the water ain't going to kill you. Okay? Water from heaven is a blessing. We was in a drought. So but thank God and go in that poll and vote. It won't even take you a minute. It is so short. But we need to make sure we get out there and vote for what's right. A voteless people is a hopeless people. We are not hopeless. That is what they want us to be. I'm telling you, get up, get your clothes on, and get over there and go vote. They're giving us 5 days of early voting only.
Yeah.
This has never happened. 5 days.
Yes.
That's it.
What are you seeing in your neighborhood? Where's the nearest center? We've got the center. I've been telling people to go online, and we give out a list of voting locations. Where's the one nearest you? What's
the one nearest me would be Wheeler Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying you can go to any poll you want to go to.
Sure.
I generally stand at the West Gray poll because I always feel that poll is a barometer for what's going on in Texas. That it is. And so what I'm seeing right now, because I was out there yesterday and Monday.
Okay.
But after that guy made his nomination for the Senate, I saw a bunch of them coming to vote.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I didn't see us. But we need to get out there and stand with Congressman Al Green. We don't need anybody practicing in Congress at a time like this. We need somebody professional. I ask people when they want to talk about his age. I say, okay, would your ass want 80-year-old DeBakey giving you heart surgery or somebody graduated yesterday? Okay, you want DeBakey because he know what he doing. You need in this Congress, you need a proven ranking member of Congress fighting for you because they are trying to obliterate us. I mean it. Over 600,000 African-American women have lost their jobs over the last year. Now, I'm not talking about at Walmart. These were professional, highly educated, highly skilled women who have lost their jobs. We won't even talk about the many people who have died because they no longer have the stipend for health care and they can't afford it. I mean, have died. They're not of age to go on Medicare, have died because they cannot afford it. God, you almost got to take a loan out to fill up your car. This is asinine. You need somebody who will go there and stop it. And with the amount, the Defender had an amazing article about the amount of outside money that has come into this race. Over $2 million from the crypto industry. And let me explain to you all this short thing about crypto. If the cryptocurrency replaces the dollar, then you are broke. Because your house, your car, your pension, everything you own is valued in dollars. Period. That is why they have been trying to get Al Green out of Congress for years, because he has been blocking that to protect us and to protect our interests. He's been fighting the banks that won't give us loans discriminately, knowing they openly discriminating. Now they're trying to pass a bill to say that if you're an immigrant, you can't get to the bank. You don't think they're going to take that to another level? Think again. Think again.
Well, Samara, we appreciate you, and we appreciate the call to action, and you obviously are impassioned for your candidate, Al Green, and we do thank you for coming on. And again, before we go, you want to urge people to go out and vote again. Remind them of what's at stake. Okay. Very good.
Yes, please, you all go out and vote. I mean, not only it's the county judge position is at stake, you have judges, and I'm telling you, judges in our culture make a difference between life and death. We have judges on the ballots. We have county judges, a county judge race. We have other races on there. Please, y'all, get out and go vote.
Okay, we thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time.
All right. I appreciate you so much. Thanks.
All right.
Have a great day, you all.
You do the same. All right. Stay dry. The preceding was a political announcement, and we were bringing it to you on behalf of Al Green's committee. So we'll be right back. Callers, I do see you. Just stay, just hang in there. We'll be right with you.
Saturdays, we're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks. Soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
Everybody's talking about the high price of eggs. I don't know much about eggs, but I tell you this. If you want great chicken at a great price, how about Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside? Let's hear what his customers are saying. Michelle writes, Chicken Plus has some of the best fried chicken and best fried okra in the city. We stay about 45 minutes away, but the drive is definitely worth it. E. Max says, the chicken is seasoned so well and every bite has a special crunch. It's my go-to chicken spot when I want homemade fried chicken that's always good. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Great fried chicken, okra, rice and gravy, desserts. You're going to find it all at Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside. You don't have time to make the drive? Hey, no problem. You can order Chicken Plus on DoorDash and Uber Eats. You better do what you got to do to get your hands on some of that great fried chicken, the best fried chicken in the city. Great chicken at great prices. That's Chicken Plus. See you there.
WeServiceUnlimited.com. WeServiceUnlimited.com. 833-937-3788. 833-937-3788. Well, hello! It's getting hot in here. You don't need to worry or have no fear, 'cause we serve. We serve you. Fix anything you think is nothing we can't do, 'cause we serve. We serve you. We serve you. Oh, we serve.
Big job, small job. Call We Service Unlimited, 833-937-3788, or go to WeServiceUnlimited.com. And now, a message from the Future Frequency.
Young voters, Gen Z and millennials, our world is moving fast, and the issues hitting your pockets and your peace, they're all on the ballot. Rent, safety, jobs, student debt, and yes, home ownership. Whether you're aiming for your first keys or keeping your roof steady, voting is where those issues get decided. So click off the mute button and let your voice be heard. Tap in, lock in, and make a plan to vote. The future is live right now, and you're the frequency.
This message is powered by Diversity of Thought and proudly sponsored by 1230 KCOH The Source. A message from the People's Congressman.
This is your Congressman Al Green with an important message. I'm running for the new 18th Congressional District because of Trump and Abbott's racist redistricting. I fought back against this. Fighting against the establishment brought billions of dollars, health care, and 3 federal judges to this area. I'm Al Green. I approve this message because I need your support to continue delivering and fighting back against Trump.
Early vote, May 18th through the 22nd. Election day is Tuesday, May 26th. Political ad paid for by Keep Al Green in Congress.
Hey, we are The Source. I am Paris. It's 21 minutes after the hour. We're urging you to be sure to get out and vote. Hello, caller. You are on. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Paris.
Good morning to you. What's going on, Reg? How you doing?
I'm all right, sir. I'm good. I went to the polling place yesterday in Humble at the Civic Center.
Uh-huh.
And that part of Humble is the 18th Congressional District.
Okay.
I, got my ballot. I put my numbers in. But when I finished my ballot, I didn't have but 4 names, 4 votes I could make.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I cast the ballot. I felt like something was wrong, man. When I stepped out and got in my car, I made a phone call to the Harris County clerk,
Mm-hmm.
and they connected me to someone. But I wanted to know why, Al Green and Menifee name wasn't on the ballot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it took a minute, and then he connected me to another person.
Right.
And they said that January, the election they had in January, was that election was Menifee won to go sit in on that seat. So they changed that district where I'm at to District 2.
Ah, okay.
That's why their name wasn't on the ballot.
Okay. Yeah.
So it just shocked me, but that's how the gerrymandering, they changed it, and now they gerrymandering that district I'm in now, the District 2, so it's a Republican district.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't. They said a lot of people.
Say again.
At that Civic Center was pretty good.
Uh-huh. All right. I appreciate. Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. So now your choices are. What are your choices now? For Republicans, you vote for Republican candidates, right?
I think Crenshaw is a Republican that's in that district,
Okay.
and
oh yeah, Dan Crenshaw. That would be Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah. So,
Right. Okay. And he has drawn an opponent too, because they're trying to get. Yeah, they want to get him out of there. Yeah, they want to get him out of there. Republicans do want to get him out of there. All right.
So,
go ahead.
So now that this has happened with the gerrymandering of my district, I just want to know what the future's gonna hold now, Paris. What is this gonna be, man? We ain't gonna have nobody, a Democrat that's gonna be in our district.
There's going to be a lot of court cases. The short answer is there is no easy way out of this, and it is going to be barring some miracle, it's going to be a hard-fought fight, and it may take some years, and we'll just have to take incremental victories where we find them. We are going to have to. We're going to have to go back to. We are going to have to engage in local elections. Things that we thought were settled, we find out are not settled, and that's when people are contending for resources, money, food, utilities, because they want all that stuff on their side of the table. Food, supplies, who gets the best of what, who gets who gets to live in the best places, who gets to have more of the desired resources. The contention is born into that, even in the most polite societies, right? So people are not just going to let this stuff go. It's taken 40 years for them to get rid of the Civil Rights Act. This fight goes back a way. And see, some of us were comfortable. By taking one simple step, you can unravel a whole lot of other things that have preceded it. And now we're finding that every day you got to contend for what you get, and you have to be vigilant. Got to run, Reggie, but I sure appreciate the conversation, okay? Hello? All right. Very, very good. Very good. Hello, caller. You're on. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, Paris. I'm fine. I hope everything's doing great over there in your neck of the woods.
Things are beautiful.
I'm just glad to call in. I'm
Sure.
Attorney Nyan Zamora. I am a political commentator on Fox 26. What's your point?
Yes.
And I wanted to make sure that
Good
for
show,
this
too. Shouts out to
particular-
you. I see that.
Yes,
Good show.
this
Good show.
18th congressional district race is a race like none other. More is riding on this race than I would think the Senate race between Tallarico and would-be, nominee Cornyn. Because in the 18th congressional district, we have seen what you need to do. We must have a fighter in that seat like Sheila Jackson Lee. This is not the time for us to be tepid or timid or go for somebody who may not have fought the good fight yet. We have seen Al Green work as our state representative. We have seen him in the courthouse as a judge in Harris County. We have seen him post up 4 bills that were passed under his name over his time in Congress. We have also seen him get millions and millions of dollars in appropriations specifically for the 9th district. So just imagine what he could do for the 18th congressional district. And right now, when we have the MAGA Republicans trying to find ways to steep money into our black congressional Democratic candidate, AE via AIPAC and also via the Crypto Kings, then we cannot afford to have another puppet up there in Washington, D.C. representing us. Right now, we would need somebody like Al Green up there marching up there on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. We would need Al Green marching in Selma. We would need Al Green marching in Birmingham, marching in D.C. We need the same Al Green that brought the very first articles of impeachment to Donald Trump on day one of his tenure in the 2016 election. We need that same kind of energy. Now is not the time to bet on a dark horse that we don't know. We need to go for a sure winner, a guy who's going to fight to the finish and lay it all on the line. Al Green is not supported by AIPAC money. He is not a MAGA puppet. He's not a puppet for anybody. He's been standing on business 10 toes down for over 20 years in Congress. He needs to be the one to finish the job. And where you see all of these other congressmen being written out of their districts in the state of Memphis and in Memphis, Tennessee, then we have to ensure that that doesn't happen out here. Sheila Jackson Lee was able to fight against the congressional pundits that tried to gerrymander her right out of her own district. She also stood up and fought for Sylvia Garcia to remain in her district. What needs to happen now is that same fight and that same grit needs to translate over to Al Green. He is the only one who can champion for the 18th congressional district. Christian Menifee has done a so what job in the last few months that he's been up there. But guess what? I haven't seen any appropriations. I haven't seen any bills put forward to his name. But we need that ranking Democrat who's been up there for 25 years, who's earned his seat. He has not been put off of any of the committees. Let's let Al Green finish the job. You better get out there and vote on this rainy day. The Republicans are banking on us staying at home. Let's show all of these Republicans that we're here for the long haul and here for the fight. I'm here for Al Green. He was gerrymandered right out of my district. He used to represent me over here in the 9th District, but they went ahead and whitewashed my district, and now I'm in 22. You all know the best man for the job. That's Al Green, and that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Moore. All right, thank you. Paid political announcement.
A message from the People's Congressman.
This is your Congressman Al Green with an important message. I'm running for the new 18th Congressional District because of Trump and Abbott's racist redistricting. I fought back against this. Fighting against the establishment brought billions of dollars, health care, and 3 federal judges to this area. I'm Al Green. I approve this message because I need your support to continue delivering and fighting back against Trump.
Early vote, May 18th through the 22nd. Election day is Tuesday, May 26th. Political ad paid for by Keep Al Green in Congress.
All right, paid for by Keep Al Green in Congress. We are the source. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Moving along, it's 10:30. It's 10:30, and I want to thank you. The past 30 minutes have been brought to you by Keep Al Green in Congress. Good morning. Hello, caller. You're on.
Well, good morning, Paris. How you doing this morning?
Hey, Mr. Mark. I am, sir. I am. I'm doing good.
We got some firecrackers off this morning, man. I like to hear them young ladies speaking, man. That woman, both of them women, I heard it by Al Green. They electrified. They and I hear it in their voices. And the last one just a minute, she said, we need. She named everything. Al Green. We also need that excitement from Al Green when he stood up there in front of Congress and he pointed that cane at that man in there. That's what the energy we need in that seat. And this, because Greg Abbott and Donald Trump, let me tell y'all something. But they causing a whole bunch of mess going on right here in Texas. But we're not gonna let them win, y'all. Because at the end of the day, I understand about experience. And we have to understand that. And we want everybody to understand what I'm trying to say about experience. And when I mean experience, is Al Green definitely have the experience that we are looking for as far as this race for Congress, y'all. Because at the end of the day, this man knows a lot, y'all. And he's doing a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nothing bad.
No. It's just that I got to separate that from the commercial thing. But we got you on the voting. Okay. We just said. But you had something else as well about voting in general, didn't you? I mean, you were.
Yeah, I got a lot to say in voting. About voting. Get out there and vote. And the people, we always have slogans, y'all. Before I look at this right quick, but they talking about age. I want to say this to the people, and I try to get it off there, but I had to bring it back. But about experience, you better hold on to what experience you got it for us right now by Al Green. Because if you notice what's happening in the Republican Party, look at Mitch McConnell. That's an experienced man, y'all. They won't get rid of him until he gone. He can't stand up at the podium by himself without falling down. That man got experience, y'all. They won't let it go. Don't give up our experience that we need down there, y'all. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway, hold on to him. But vote, people get out there and vote. And when the new slogan is, they always come up with slogans when it comes to black folks. If you don't vote, that's a less power. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Y'all do y'all due diligence. Go out there and you vote. I can guarantee you this here. Let's just be real. Let's be honest. I'm just a ghetto man. That's all I am. But we know good well that numbers is what really counts.
Little Marvin Cease. Little Marvin Cease here for you. Mark got Marvin Cease. We know where he goes after he gets off.
That's right. All I'm just saying, man. Y'all gotta know that, man.
Yeah.
The numbers count, man. The numbers. Yes. We have to get those numbers up, y'all, because y'all heard that one of the guys was talking about sleeping cells. Mm-hmm. We learned that in the John Lewis bill. We had a chance to pass that bill. We had three Democrats.
Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, because they were trying to hold on to the filibuster Yeah.
So I'm just letting y'all know. So y'all better be careful, man,
Yes.
of what's going on. I see my people staying in line nights, overnight, just to stay in line to vote in Miami-Dade. Don't go back to 2000. Y'all remember that. They got us for hanging chads. They found all kind of ways to say that we not voting and we ain't doing nothing. We sick of that, y'all. We saw it with our own eyes. They always find ways to get us, y'all. I'm telling you right now, we got an experienced man. Experience.
All right, Mark.
They got
All
experience in the Republican Party. Don't lose that experience in the Democrat. Y'all have a good one. Thank
All
you.
right, buddy. All right. We are the source. It's the Morning Magazine. I am Paris, returning to the callers. Hello, caller. You're on.
There's my brother.
Yeah. What's going on, money?
Man, look, you speaking my love language this morning, man. About what I was talking about yesterday, man. With voting, with people voting and how black people, Paris, I've been talking about, the numbers as far as black people.
Yes, you have.
In Texas and
you have. You came to mind.
Man.
You came to mind when I was thinking about that Sherlin Eiffel piece I was talking about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
And with that being said, man, there is no reason in Texas there wouldn't have been any gerrymandering if we would have went out and vote in high numbers in state of Texas and would have got Abbott out of there a long time ago. There's no reason God's green earth that this man has this reign of terror for 16 years. 16 years, and from what it looked like from what the polls I see, he's gonna win again. And the first call, the thing is, I hate to concentrate on that particular caller, Paris, but when you ask a particular person why Trump is his guy and all that stuff, he can't give you an answer. Meaning that he's full of crap. At least with Barry call, Barry lets you know why he's a Republican. Barry lets you know what it does to benefit him. And he's strongly in the party. And every question you ask him, he'll deliver. And don't get me wrong, Paris. Don't get me wrong, Paris. I'm gonna tell you something. Now, it's not gonna affect me financially what Trump is doing. Matter of fact,
sure.
One of his tax on overtime policy benefit me, to be honest, because the fact is that this is the first time I got a tax return in going on 70 years because of this tax on overtime and everything. But just because that part benefit me, I still don't like him.
Yeah. I've been in that position. I understand that. I know plenty of people actually who are in that position who benefit personally, but there we see the other stuff because people have family connected to them. We've got friends connected to us. Everybody's not. I think some of us made the determination a while ago. Everything wasn't going to be all right when we just started doing good. Just when we started doing good, just because we're doing good. However, I got to say this in defense of your allusion to the first caller. Look, a caller may not be able to explain why they feel a certain way, or they may not wish to, right? So that happens too. That happens too. They may not wish to. They don't. You know what? It's non-engagement. choose not to tell you something, they are not going to tell you, and they'll find other ways to do it. And you just have to give your audience some credit, because we know when we see certain things we see, So yeah. And I got respect for I got respect for all of it.
I understand, but I don't know what it's going to take for us as a people to get the people who don't want to vote because we have the numbers. And the thing is, like I say, man, look, that's, we can talk about racism all we want, but you know what? The only power as black people that we do have to change the system is the vote. And the thing is, for some reason, the white Republicans know it. Because if they didn't know it, they wouldn't be doing all this voter suppression laws and all this gerrymandering and all this taking out representation from black people. They know, but it seems like we don't know.
Yeah.
But they trying to beat it before that sleeping giant happens. And I don't get it. In Paris, I'm one of these people. I'm kind of in your face about stuff. I'm an equal opportunity a person I get on. And I get on our people too, black folks, and I get on black politicians because we're not doing what we're supposed to. The black politicians are not doing what they're supposed to do. Paris, because Paris,
I hear it. Yeah.
Because I'll say something, Paris. And I like to go back to Barack Obama, which was when America was great. The thing is, Paris, the Black Caucus should have been the one that was telling all the black people in their districts and having town meetings and explaining to them and telling them the stuff that Barack Obama was doing for black people. And as far as I can remember, I don't think a single congressperson got into the district and explained to the black voters of what Barack Obama was doing for black people. He did a lot for black people. But he couldn't say it. And none of them did. And the same thing with Kamala Harris running. They didn't go and really in their districts and push up. You need to vote for this woman, she's black. And you can say that in your district. And this is why. But they didn't. And so, I'm kind of, the Black Caucus, need to do more. But you know why they want to do more, Paris?
Why's that, buddy?
Because all of them are getting APAC money. Except for Al Green. Except for Jasmine Crockett. That's why they got gerrymandered out. Most of them get APAC money. And when you get that APAC money, they tell you to shut up. And don't do too much black promotion. Because we're going to yank that money right under you.
Look, anybody who anybody who is spending that money, you better believe this is why you have to follow the money. People don't spend money for the hell of it. They spend money to get results, a desired result, And some people have so much money that they can play the game both ways. They can hedge their bets. So we've got to be mindful of that. But as always, I gotta say to you, X, thank you for being here, my man, and I appreciate it. All right. Bye. Thank you. Bye. We are the Source. Ron Scurry, good morning to you. How are you doing, sir? We trust you're well out there. Roy Brown down in Florida. What's happening with the Gators? What's going on? Hello, caller. You're on. Good morning. I'm Paris. This is the Morning Magazine.
Good morning, Paris.
Yes, sir. What's going on there? Sounds like College Station to me. Yeah, okay. So I was going to say that.
Hey, Paris.
Yes, sir.
The only people that's actually supporting Trump, I bet you they're making money off of both sides of the coin. Don't you agree?
I think that there are people with deep pockets who support Trump, and they're getting a lot. However, I think that there are people who think that God has put Trump here. They are being told by their religious leaders. Look, I just witnessed a journalist, a reporter in the field, talking about how he was doing an interview with people, and the man and his wife lambasted Biden for the high cost of food. Now that Trump is in office, then the journalist said this to him. He said, okay, but now that the cost of food has gone up, do you hold Trump responsible? He said, well, no, see, that's different. That's a good thing. As a matter of fact, my wife and I were talking about it. We have to eat. It gives us a chance to, quote, fast. Gives us a chance to fast. That, man, people work themselves into conniptions. You see, our identity is very important to us in a way that is buttressed by our ego. The ego loves being in charge, and it protects itself. So when it's faced with something that's to feel confused and disconnected. They call They call it dissonance, cognitive dissonance. I know the thing I'm doing. When I see my own actions, when my actions betray me, if it's a deeply held belief, then I must invent a reason for violating the very thing that I'm violating, the very thing that I say I'm all about. This is how you see people who can go around preaching love, 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 and Jesus, 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 or God, 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 and then wage a war because the other people are infidels. It's like not killing anybody. You know, it's like if you dehumanizing. I think I read somewhere once in one of in a book. I think it was Voltaire, maybe. I don't know. It said if people can convince you of absurdities, then they can make you do tragic things. If they can convince you of absurdities, if they can, then they can make you commit tragedies. They can maneuver you to that level. You think about that. Why do you think people call things? This is a rhetorical question. You notice how people call things out of their name. You notice how we have a leader who he must have a name for every opponent, and then he assigns a characteristic to that name. And then if you like him and he appeals to you emotionally because he touches some part of you that you haven't been unable to acknowledge publicly, like your racism, like being xenophobic, he's giving you a reason to do it and a person to do it upon. So then, and you're justified, you sleep at night because you haven't violated any moral part of yourself. That's the way we cover up for it. You know,
my goodness. All right, Paris.
Yeah. I mean that's a layperson's position, but I'm saying from my perspective, that seems to be what is happening.
I'm just gonna use an old line, but I heard it somewhere, but saying it's just a low down, dirty shame of what this man has done to the country.
but the people you're talking about though are the people. Listen, you're talking about the people who ride along with him. Did you hear you see spiritual leader say that she placed him inside one of the oldest tales of Christendom. She said he was resurrected. You recognize you recognize the spiritual implication and social implications of lifting up someone as a deity. She said, this man is the Christ. She was, in fact, saying that this man was Jesus arisen. But if you're speaking, but see, here's the trick. If you're speaking in theological terms, what do we call
my
Jesus?
goodness.
What do we call Jesus? What office did he hold? The Christ.
Yeah.
The Christ.
Yeah.
See, it's not just that you compared him to Jesus. You're hoping that the inference, the implication is that he is the second coming. Now, to go against him, if you're at a certain level of thinking, is to go against the will of God. So yeah, you do have people, and remember, some of these people in these churches have already been taught to sacrifice on earth. So they'll sacrifice that rebate. They don't need that money. They got God. They will sacrifice that, and God is pleased with them because he is.
Yes.
They are honoring the person that he sent here. Forgetting that it's convenient to them to think that God operates like they do, in a warlike manner, that God is jealous. All of those human traits that tend to eat us alive, we think God has those same traits somehow. So he's jealous and he's vengeful. And so those people can say he's doing God's work. You've heard, maybe you have. I can't say what you've heard. I know I've heard people say that on that. He's doing God's work. He came to deliver us out of this. So whatever he does is cool. So, and this is why it's so important. Look, farmers in good faith for him. Not everybody who voted for him voted in bad faith. Some people thought it would actually happen. But now we can see young people moving away. We can see college-educated voters moving away. That's what the numbers are showing right now. The polls may not be spot on, but you can believe that the credible posters who've been doing this for years, and they can be wrong too, but when you see a group of them showing the same numbers, and you're even seeing it on stations that support Trump, he got mad at Fox News because they revealed a poll, much to Fox's credit, because we know they are unbalanced like crazy. But they couldn't hide that poll when everybody else showed what was really going on. So we do see people who were acting in good faith. There were some farmers who, and I can see how farmers got to that position, man, because these people, even under Biden, they were having a difficult time, right? And so
That's
somebody
exactly
comes
right.
offering relief, and you just want to believe they're sincere. And when your back's up against the wall, yeah, you do sometimes say, well, what can I lose? It looks like I got more to gain than to lose with me. Expected. You know, because you say, I mean, there's some things people just are thinking logically. They say, no, nobody would do that because nobody's done that before. There's nothing, no good could come out of it, right? But the guy does it. And now some of them, and still some of them are so, they got two things. They got their religion and the job. I mean, they have more than this, but I'm talking about two things that they identify themselves through: their work and their religion, or their profession and their religion. And so when the guy fails you in one area, what's your fallback position? Your crops are not coming in. You can't get fertilizer for food. The bank is looking at you, and you've been doing backbreaking work. That's backbreaking work running on one of those farms, right? And you went to the banks. They sat on your publication. Now, if you're a black farmer, it even gets multiplied. However, the fact of the matter is, so you're a farmer, you're a white farmer, you're voting for him, all right, or even a black farmer.
Right.
If it happens to you and you still have your religion, if it's evangelical religion in this case, you can say, well, that God is he's an instrument of God, so it must be meant for us to go through this, like God raised the taxes. so yeah, people do say, and they don't mean any harm. Sometimes they can't even hear themselves. What did we
see it.
Can't see it. We see people in West Virginia saying when they were read the list of what would happen under the Affordable Care Act, they said, "Oh, gee, I like that." And then when you read them the Obamacare Act, I mean, they did it in just the opposite order than I'm saying it. When they found out it was the Obamacare Act, they didn't like it anymore. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we have, Rufus. How are you doing, buddy? You got any elections going on up your way?
I'm doing just fine, Paris. I just come back from my hometown, and I hadn't heard you in a few days, but I'm back in College Station now.
Okay. But I thought you got any elections going on in any other parts of Texas that we don't know about there? Any elections going on?
Well, it wasn't much of it was a runoff here in town.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. It's not like Houston.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely. All right. I want to thank you so much, Rufus, and thanks for calling, my friend. Always good to hear your voice.
Yes, sir. I appreciate talking to you. You keep regulating.
my man. Thank you. We are. Look, let's talk about some of these election night takeaways. President Donald Trump is claiming victory after several Republicans who opposed him lost their primary races Tuesday. You know, he's the enforcer over there now. Make no mistake about it. He's more than the enforcer. He is the capo de tutto. He is the guy. He's the godfather over there. In Kentucky, Trump helped oust Representative Thomas Massey, who is another GOP lawmaker that he labeled him disloyal and took him down. He certainly did. And that has a chilling effect. You know, that makes people nervous. And people tend not to want that heat. They don't want that smoke. But also, Bill Cassidy wanted his reelection campaign to be about the present and the future. But President Donald Trump had other plans for him. 5 years after Cassidy voted to convict Trump in his second impeachment, the senator lost his primary for reelection here's another one, lost to a Trump-endorsed challenger, and a second challenger who also embraced Trump, backed Representative Julia Letlow and Louisiana State Treasurer John Fleming are now headed to runoff. Cassidy became the first GOP senator to lose renomination in close to a decade. And that's a remarkable downfall that shows, again, how Trump dominates this party. Cassidy signaled in his concession speech, without mentioning Trump, that he could spend the final months of his term being more of a thorn in Trump's side, or at least more openly critical of his party. And he said it, he declared it, he laid it out there. Let me just set the record straight, he said. Our country is not about one individual. I wonder how many people are hearing that. It is about the welfare of all Americans, and it is about our Constitution. And if someone doesn't understand that and attempts to control others through using the levers of power, they are about serving themselves. They are not about serving us. And that person is not qualified to be a leader. That's powerful stuff. Because remember now, he still gets to vote on Donald Trump's priorities. And then there's the matter of the people who have been voted in. So it looks like you can bet on the Republican Party moving even further to the right. They're going to go in deeper on this, but he has a grip on the party, and it looks like there's no space for moderates there. You do what Donald Trump says. You do what Donald Trump says in this version of the party. And that's when I was speaking with Texas Mike, and I raised the question about, well, do you think this is good for the country? And this is what I'm talking about. They are abstract things that we have to talk about. Is it good for a president of the United States, the most powerful executive in this country by law, to be able to charge whomever he wants, bring them into a court where they are accused by the president's prosecutors and judged by the prosecutor's judges? I mean, that just can't be what the Constitution says, and we know darn well it doesn't. I mean, but setting aside the Constitution, you don't have to be a constitutional scholar. Are you saying that that's okay with you? From anybody, let's say, to go back just a step, just take a step back, even if it's Obama. You even hear you hear black people who say, well, Obama couldn't do certain things because he couldn't just go in there and announce that it was for us and it was cool. Because citizens who are thinking just don't think that way. They may want it that way, but they consider that kind of stuff a fantasy. But lo and behold, Jaron Walls, those twins, lo and behold, got together and gave us Donald Trump, a guy who said, no, that's not a bridge too far. We can do that. And all of that stuff you've been worried about for the past 4 months about being inclusive and being fair and getting diversity, you don't need to worry about that stuff. You need to be more of who you are. And he set about to do legislation to make that happen. Now think about that on the flip side. If an Obama or a Democratic president tried to do that, and there are just some things that it seems people are not willing to do just to say they won because it has consequences on the other end. Hello, caller.
Hey, good morning, Pat.
Okay. Well, where you get your coffee? You get your coffee first and then put your steps in, or?
Yeah. I just walked through the parking lot of wherever the McDonald's may be, or wherever the coffee.
Okay, all right. So you get your McDonald's first, okay?
Yeah. Usually that's the way it works out.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought I coined a term called, and I had this conversation with one of your contributors, both, intellectual futility.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear it because I don't know if you can reconcile, and I hear people basically arguing with themselves. If you advance an argument that people should be impressed with the Constitution, okay, and all that it explains, right? Then why make then in the next breath you argue discrimination or unfair treatment? These ideas seem to conflict in my mind. Okay, it seems like people are saying, man, people should have great reverence for the Constitution and the rights that it gives people. But then you say, well, people made this argument this morning that there's a discriminatory practice going on against black people. You know, when they say that the gerrymandering, you know, is discriminatory, right? You know, these seem to be conflicting ideas, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if people understand, are they in this mental chaos or this cognitive dissonance you're talking about, or is it just a intellectual futility situation? I mean,
Look, you know something. I think, man, what we see, I think it is really built into, and I think on these, I think on these things. You talk about people arguing with themselves. Sometimes I think to try to get to clarity, and in many instances you never really do, because some things, the tension is just built into them. It's like, I can understand what you're saying because I'm there on several things. And I see it going around in circles in a way, but the circles have meaning. And the circles have meaning. Like, I think the arguments with yourself are important because you got to examine your own ideas. I think people run into trouble when they don't examine their own ideas. They can't bring to think critically to that level. Now, that doesn't make them geniuses because they do it now. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it is a human state. For instance, like, right, an argument can rely on its value from where you started, or its impact, I should say. Its impact, right? Because remember, we're talking about race, and we are saying that we're being discriminated against, but the truth was also this. The truth was the reason that the reason that the Voting Rights Act was put into effect because there was prior discrimination.
Right.
So I mean, and this is cyclical. So
there's no doubt. There's no doubt. It's demonstrated.
Yeah, right. And I don't know when or how I'm going to lay this out, but I got to go back to James. What was his name? Ed Meese, to Edward Meese. With the day that, and I was a kid back during this time, but when I heard Dr. King say he wanted a colorblind society, my mind just went to, now people are going to use that against black people. Because how can you say you want a colorblind society and you're saying pick me, because I'm black, I need this, right? Well,
they're contradictory ideas.
Yeah, they're contradictory ideas. So sometimes I see other people advocating for ideas that when I think you and I had this conversation before. I said this to you. One of my favorite lines in the song, I know it trips people out, when I used to play "Feeling All Right" by Joe Cocker, and he says, "Now don't you get too lost in all I say," because at the time I really felt that way. But that was then, and now it's today. I think that describes every talk show in America almost, no matter what the belief is. And I think it discovers, it discloses a kind of reasoning that we have. We get to a certain point, and when the argument turns against the argument we're making, we sometimes just shut it down, and just
Right.
and
but I look for Malcolm was all about self-alignment. This is what he demonstrated. When he reflected, right? When he was, he was into a growth position.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't stay stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he demonstrated the ability to grow in his thinking. And I'm saying if that's possible.
Yeah.
And you're gracious in saying that, that you give people the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But it is it could be, like I say, just a situation of futility.
It can be because remember, not everyone heralded Malcolm X as movements and changes as growth. There were those who some considered it betrayal. Some considered it betrayal.
I've never considered that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Yeah, I know the people in the Nation of Islam, they believe that, 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 You know, you're talking about tying yourself up in knots.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's it. Welcome to the human condition, is what I'm saying. There's a lot that goes with that coffee. You're gonna burn up a lot of coffee. At least I'm gonna invest my money in Brazilian stock. Okay.
Yeah. But I appreciate what you're saying, Falco. But I wish people would reflect on, you know, their own position and try to align themselves, you know, on a path.
But you know what, though? Here's where we have to have some grace, I think. Don't think for a minute that those people don't think that they are. Now, they very well may be. Now, I don't mean to be condescending when I say, oh, that's so nice. They think they're doing that. That sounds like I'm being patronizing. I'm not.
That's why I said the grace came in. That's why I said the grace came in. Right there. Go ahead.
Yeah. But they have analyzed their situation, and sometimes people are doing all they know to do in that moment. I recall the things that I thought were rock-ribbed true when I was 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70, right? And some were and some were not. But it was surprising how they. But you know something? Some of them, the truth will pop out sometimes and dispute something that you were sure you knew, and it becomes almost difficult for you to argue with it. You know, it becomes such a blatant display right in your face. You can't avoid it. You know, it's like saying, well, all people are good, or all people do this, or all people do that. But then you have something that will pop up in your life, and your experience will be different than what you thought it was. And then, you know, those are the things that, those are the moments that are true to those people. I mean, you know, they just, and it's harder for some people to acknowledge those differences, or we fight against them, you know.
We fight. Yeah, that's demonstrated through what I hear is silence. You know, the omission. You know, that some people can hear, you know, the silence and the omission and what's not being said. But
yes.
It was just a thought, Paris, about this.
It's a good one.
Utility.
It's a good one, and I thank you for calling.
Just a thought.
All right, my brother. Right. Thank you, man. All right, we are the source. It's 13 minutes after the hour. I'm in Paris. The Internal Revenue Service is now barred from auditing President Trump and his family for past tax issues. On Tuesday, the Justice Department unveiled this new language, Lydia, and other terms as part of a settlement with Trump to resolve his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. I can scarcely wait for Friday to get here. You talk about diversity of thought. This is, now when we were speaking earlier, and I speak of policy, here's what I mean by policy. Not just the legislation that's been enacted. How does these policies affect us? You have to look a little deeper than that. What does, I mean, if we're talking about a politician and how is a politician's going to make rules for the people, what is their thinking like? Now, it's hard for me to imagine that the president has declared that the agency under his watch, the agency that reports to him, is barred from investigating him, his family, for past tax issues. His family, okay, for past tax issues. For past tax issues. That sends a signal. And the Internal Revenue Service can't bring claims against President Donald Trump, at least according to what he wants to do now. And these are additional terms that added to the settlement, the justice. That's why I tell you, there is a remedy, and you will see people reach for it, because what Donald Trump has done is he has the upper hand because the president acted before anybody could do anything about it. You know, like some court cases, you'll see the Supreme Court send some cases back because they don't want to reach down for them. They want those cases to bubble up from the lower courts, and then they get involved. And they'll tell a plaintiff sometimes, no, you go back. You're in the wrong place. You go back. This has not been tested in a court of law. Well, this is this kind of thing that you're seeing now. The president has done something, and it's debatable whether it is constitutionally sound. And when you pay attention to the American judicial process, something will happen. It will be declared the rule for a while until somebody tests it in court. Look at fair housing. Fair housing was changed. We got to fair housing by having people go into places and pose as buyers. And then when they were refused, they sued. So, and that suit became a test case. And then once you have your test case, you see how the court rules on it. And if you win, then you're Gucci. If you don't, if you win, you're good. But if you don't, the judge will show you where your weaknesses are. And so you get you challenge another case, and this time you look to close those loopholes in your own behavior. This is why it takes time to undo things. The Internal Revenue Service, according to this agreement, can't reach Donald Trump's family or business for past tax issues. Now, the Justice Department resolved to do this because they resolved his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. But even that will no doubt be wind up in court. The additional terms, first reported by a publication called Politico, were quietly added in a hyperlink to Monday's Justice Department press release that contained an agreement to create a nearly $1.8 billion fund to compensate people or organizations that have been weaponized by past administrations, a fund widely expected to benefit Trump's allies, including January 6th, 21 U.S. Capitol rioters from the year 2021. The Capitol rioters. Thus, this additional settlement term is an extraordinary step that Trump's own administration has taken that benefits him and his family. The acting Attorney General Todd Blanche made no mention of the additional term during testimony Tuesday before a Senate committee earlier yesterday because he knew about it, but Congress didn't know about it. Turns out the agreement was signed in the morning around 8 a.m. But he was sitting on that information, so he wouldn't have to, he being Attorney Blanche, wouldn't have to answer for it. Trump's lawsuit and how the Trump administration resolved it has been labeled self-dealing by to see. And here's how it reads. According to the new document dated Tuesday, signed by Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, the federal government, and this is in hyper letters, this is in all caps bold, forever barred and precluded from prosecuting or pursuing claims or examinations arising from matters pending before the IRS, including tax returns filed by Trump before the agreement was reached. Now, when I say policies, ladies and gentlemen, who would think that that is not a dangerous policy? Who does not think that that is a dangerous policy? When you can shield people, and this is what I mean when I say policies. Yeah, you got policies about where you can park in the afternoons. You got municipal legislation, and we go back and forth about those things too. But this is policy of the 2025 nature. This is big stuff. So who would even want a president to be able to do that? That's what I'm talking about. Take it off Trump. Take it off Trump. Who wants a president? I don't even want a president with whom I agree to have this kind of blanket power to reach out and just pick people that have displeased him or her, as it one day may be, and drag that person through a legal hell, presenting no evidence other than a grievance. The Justice Department did not answer CNN's inquiry about why the additional terms were published belatedly, as I spoke to earlier here. A spokesperson noted on CNN that the agreement would not block an IRS audit of issues stemming from tax returns that were filed by Trump or his family after the settlement date. This is a bold move. Why would a person even ask for something like that? I mean, unless they had something that they really, doesn't that speak to, wait a minute, remember you say that, doesn't that say to you that, hey, this person's trying to hold, what have they done? Isn't that the first question that would come to mind? What have they done that they want me to forgive them for all time and not even prosecute? A spokesperson said, as is customary in settlements, both sides have executed waivers of a variety of claims that were or could have been brought. There would be little point in settling several significant claims if either party could simply turn around and seek to initiate more adverse claims that could have been pursued previously. So that's their reasoning. Now, it's not clear how an audit of whether Trump or his businesses were complying with tax law would relate to his claims in the lawsuit that the IRS violated federal privacy law by not properly safeguarding his tax documents from disclosure by a government contractor. Now, how does this not look like a hustle? And we're being asked to just not pay attention to it. So when I talk about policy and what would you vote for, I wouldn't vote for somebody who ran on this particular issue. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Hello, caller. You're on.
Paris, my man.
What's good, bro? What's happening, Spivey?
You always get to the meat, the main substance of the part in this IRS deal. Now, essentially, that deal between the Trump family. Now, this is for future generations. Trump. Mm-hmm. In other words, they gave him a license to violate the United States tax code. He could not pay his taxes because he don't have to pay no taxes. His family members, for the simple reason why you can't audit him. So how you know he didn't pay taxes unless you actually audit him? And even if you can't do nothing about it, they gave him a license to be a legalized criminal, violate the United States tax code.
Yes. Yeah.
It's in the ball of wax.
Yeah, yeah. And not that I would
There's-
expect him to go to prison, but I'm saying we put people in prison for this. This
right.
very same thing. We
And
take
Wesley Snipes.
wealth from them. We take
The IRS can tell them, no, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
I want to be exempt and my family members and future generations from being audited. Then if everybody do that, the United States become the poorest country on the face of this earth.
Yeah. This is mad. This is nasty work here, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's all I want
all right,
to say,
buddy.
because I'm listening to you.
Okay. All right. Listen, and here's something else. Think about it this way, right? For those of you who think that when we bring things up, it's only because it's Trump. That is harmful to your own thinking. If you just can't see that the other person who disagrees with you on something might be doing it because there's an honest problem to be redressed here. For instance, how many of you would agree if you're into Trumpism, right? How many of you would agree that when we were talking about prices, gas prices, let's say, under Biden, and when we were talking about inflation, and maybe we were going to get caught into a recession, how many of you would have accepted Joe Biden playing ping pong or whatever he is? I don't even know what Joe Biden golf. I don't know, and it's so it's just incidental that I'm bringing it up. All right, but whatever his hobby is, his avocation, whatever it is, what would we have said if Joe Biden would have been doing that, or if he had a pet project in Delaware that he cared about? So we see what happened in Afghanistan with the Afghanistan withdrawal. That withdrawal was truly sloppy and dangerous and poorly handled. And I know there are extenuating circumstances on that, but I'm just saying, we went bananas because his eye wasn't on the prize. And now this man is saying, leave me and my family alone. But that money has to come from somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. The same people struggling. Here's an observation from Representative Richard Neal. He's a senior Democrat on the House Ways and Means Committee. And I'm going to share with you something we found out years ago. I always would hear about the House Ways and Means Committee, and I couldn't figure out what the dickens they were talking about. At the time, I was a teenager, young man rather. It's the budget source. It's the purse. It's the purse strings of the government. The United States' Article I institution has control of the purse strings. They govern money spending. That's what they do. They write tax proposals and the like. And Mr. Neal, Richard Neal, who is the senior Democrat on that committee, makes this observation. He says the same people. He says Trump has turned the federal government into his personal protection racket by making sure his family, and his company's taxes are permanently off limits. The same people struggling with groceries and gas are now forced to bankroll this billionaire's legal shakedown and the enrichment of his family empire. Close quote. All right? That's something to think about. A ballroom, and there's a war going on. Prices are up because of that ballroom. That's why when you guys talk to me, I say, okay, well, which policy can you support? You explain to me how you can support the Iran war and what it's costing, and tell me what you think the benefit is of it. And please, whatever you guys do, don't say so Iran can have nuclear weapons, because I don't want you to embarrass yourselves. Iran had already made that agreement. And they had a better agreement. And I remember being in my car on the north side. I think it was about lunchtime. I was hearing them talk about the withdrawal. President Trump at the time withdrawing from the two things, the Paris climate agreement, and he talked about the same day, I think it was the same day, same week, whatever, but I was in my car, and he talked about the POA, the Joint Coalition Plan of Action, I think it's called. That was the agreement where President Obama brought all of these countries together for the first time and got Iran to do an agreement. And then that day I'm in the car, I'm listening to Trump talking about the pullout. He says they were violating it, but the Atomic Energy Commission, as I recall, had said they hadn't found any. Yeah, they violated, but they hadn't found any significant violations, and they were able to keep up with them. And I remember thinking then, that's going to come back to bite him, because we are in that agreement, and Iran is going to say, well, you pulled out of the first one. Why should I join in any agreement with you? The hardliners over there are going to say, you cannot trust America. Why should I show you how much I got now that you are out of the agreement? You want to come back and look at what I've been doing over here? Nah, I ain't having it. So we don't have to be here, and this is how I come to talk about policy and how it's related. Now you're paying more at the gas pump because of that. You're paying more for your foods and cereals that you get. You're paying more for you're paying more for heating for heating your homes. All of these things. All right, hello caller, you're on. So this is why I talk about public policy rather than the celebrity aspect of it. What somebody did, who they slept with, what they did, and blah blah blah. Hello caller.
Yeah, and I know why you're talking about policy, but you believe in it, obviously, and on and on. But Paris, did you ever see the movie The Untouchable? Ralph Cooper brought it up. The movie The Untouchable.
Yeah, with De Niro. Was that De Niro? Which one?
No,
yeah, I think it was De Niro and Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
De Niro was okay. Yeah, man, De Niro's done so many movies, and sometimes
he sure has.
He gets into the part. So was trying to place him in the movie. Haven't seen. Anyway, they got Capone. I'm going where was that for tax evasion? Okay.
Yeah.
Look, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, how can I word it simply? And it's never simple. We can go different. Look, he might not have the title, but my guy is right now is as close to king as we've ever had in the country. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this tax thing he put, it's incredible. Like Paris was saying. I mean, and now and it'll be tested. But right now, he's in control. He's got his cronies, and everybody does basically what he says. Okay.
Yeah.
So
so
far so good.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Sure.
If the Republicans keep control, and it might happen, okay, in November, and certainly they won't lose the Senate but say just stay with me. Say they keep the House and the Senate. I mean, my guy has 2 more years left. I've always asked the question, and I mean it. Well, Donald Trump would never do black. There is nothing, and people can laugh it off the radio, laugh, everybody does. But this is serious business. I mean, if you think this is something, think of it. If he keeps control as he does right now, and his yes people will just say yes to just about anything. This and the IRS thing might be a minor thing. And doesn't that scare you?
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, you can vote, you can protest on the street, but that's king type of power, Paris.
Yeah. Look, the only difference would be, I would say, see, for those who are allied with Trump, right? They would say, yeah, that's a king move. For those who are against him, it's a matter of perception. It looks more like a tyrant move. You know what I'm saying? Like a king, where there's peace in the kingdom, and the king does this, all hail the king. However, if you're doing everything you want to do and people don't like you, now you look more like a dictator. You see what I'm saying? You follow that? So it's all a matter of perception.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. And maybe I used the wrong word.
No, it wasn't the wrong word.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
The power. We call it a mafia boss or a Bumpy Grind or a king or the dictator.
Yes.
Compare him to Hitler.
Yeah.
Slowly, but that's the, and it's not hyperbole. But I mean that. He's still got 2 years left, and he's a.
Yes.
I mean, where can this go, Paris?
And see, and that's the critical question right there, right there. See, this is where I think there's the real discussion. That's what the election is about. Don't you think? I mean, this is it. It's a midterm, and though people seem to forget it, that's what every midterm has been about in modern elections. It's a referendum on the current president during a midterm, right?
Yeah,
right.
You know, I've heard that say.
Yeah,
this is one time when it might be through everybody.
Yes.
Everything. This is the crossroads. This
yes.
is now or never.
Yeah, and when I engage on these subjects, I understand. I understand satire. I understand hyperbole. I understand. I understand. I understand. But these are probing questions. What will it be 2 years from now? And in the meantime, what would be the damage if we bankrolled that $1 billion ballroom while 4.3, maybe 3.4. I'll be generous. I'll be conservative. Million people off snap. But it's a real question, right?
Yeah,
I mean, and see, sometimes I think that's missing in the interpretation. You got certain questions you're not going to answer. On the other hand, there's value in the conversation simply because sometimes you say, yeah, okay, you're my guy. Look, don't you guys bother to fight. Just let my guy do what he wants to do, which is the same thing we've said sometimes. No, I know I say it. Oh no, let him keep on doing that. Don't interrupt him. Let him keep on doing that. And that's not because I really want that person to do that. That is because I'm saying, if you guys think your guy is winning like that, then yeah, please help him do that. Push him even further if I think it's something that's exposing the person, you know. So I can appreciate that. I know sometimes what you're saying when you say, oh, no, you guys just keep being goody two shoes, because I know when you're trolling. Essentially,
okay,
I know. Yeah, well, I'm all over I'm all over the internet. There are all kinds of conversations out there that we're having to navigate, and it's important to understand tone in today's marketplace.
And drive you crazy, man.
Yeah. And to understand when people are flexing, because these youngsters online will hear you say something, and if it ain't hitting right for them, they will tell you that ain't the flex you think it is. You understand what I'm saying? I just mean that
with all that's happening, including the latest errors, how is it possible that Republicans can keep control? But it is possible. And I'll end it with finally with this.
Yes.
After all that, we will survive. We'll be fine as a society, as a country. Life will go on. You and I will sleep well. Have a good one.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, definitely. This is it. This is it. How can we possibly be that? And Texas Mike says, how can that happen? What will we learn? I'm not depending, but I am hopeful. The millennials and Generation Z, from what I can see, will be the generations of a reform, a timely reform that is consistent with the current age. It's not all on them, but whether they're prepared or not, it's going to fall in their hands. Nature is going to see to that. Death ain't going to stop because we got elections, all right? And attrition will take care of that. So we are going to have to look at ourselves. But if history is any indication, we will just make excuses for our failures, and each side will go back convinced it was the other side just didn't get it. However it comes out, it'll be whichever side doesn't get everything to its liking, it'll be because the other side just didn't get it. And it seems in the American mindset, in the Western world mindset, we are very much, and perhaps in the East too. I've never lived in the Eastern hemisphere of the world. But the fact of the matter is, as human beings, we just seem reluctant to say, oh, all of this is happening because I couldn't get together I couldn't accept more than I had, and other people didn't. I couldn't integrate anything new into my view of life. And that's what I see. For some things I know can't last. How do we know this? Groceries and gas are at all-time highs. People can't afford these prices. And this is on small stuff. I'm telling you, and this is true. I've not been one to go complain about grocery prices every time they go up, because it's just, fortunately I never had to, but even if I didn't have to, my philosophy then was, the more you complain about something, the worse it gets, or you're simply blowing it up. It's out of your control. But I gotta tell you, and that's been a rather consistent philosophy of mine. I don't like complaining about prices. If you go somewhere and if you want a suit or you want an article of clothing, if it's too much, they got other stores you can go to and do that, I would say. I mean, this was my perspective. And don't argue with other people about their prices. They're doing what they're doing. They are where they are with that. That's the way they're treating it. And if you don't want it, don't stay there and haggle with them. Just go somewhere else. But now I got to tell you, night before last, I think I like soft drinks. And I came home, I told my wife, I said, damn, this is outrageous. It's like I was just $2.69 when I went in to get a soda. Now it's $3.09 or $3.12 or something. What is this, right? And I mean, of course, I had been seeing other things. I've been noticing the bags get smaller and the ticket coming out of the cash register gets longer, all right? But because now they got these coupons and things you have to put on. And incidentally, I'm seeing more people with coupons in the Walgreens in the morning, the pharmacy. More and more people are pulling those things out. And even with the Q scan, I guess that's what it is. I don't use it a lot, just because I try to get in and out as quickly as I can. But I'm patient when I see a lot of older people there and some middle-aged people there. needing those coupons now. So these prices are not sustainable. We can't keep 10,000 troops over there on ships and in those foreign countries to have to restock them. We're engaged in a $25 billion war effort here that hasn't been fully explained to the American people. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about policy. So I'm looking to see who's voting against this stuff. Who's going to go to Congress and not give this president a blank check is what I'm about. Let me just be clear about that, because right now he's got a blank check, and he's doing with it outrageous stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, go look up. I may be wrong on my figure. Look up. Let's say I'm a million off, and say I'm saying 4.3, but I didn't come back and I say, well, maybe it's 3.4, because I can't remember everything that I read accurately, and I confess to that. I don't have any problems with that, because I can always go back and look at it and apologize when I'm wrong. But let's say I'm a million off, right? That's a lot of people against a reflecting pool and a ballroom. How many of those voters who are okay with this actually think they're going to the ballroom? And weigh that against, this is the policy, all right? You're spending. That's the spending policy. Even if you can justify it, all right. But weigh that against the announcement. You said it wasn't going to be there. You said that your donors would pay for it. What about the lie that got you to that point? We're just saying, before you pull these levers, before you hit these levers, think about these things. Some of us I think in that way. How do I want, no matter how much I like somebody, if I got to admit they're taking money out of my pocket, if it's somebody I hire, I might like them. Might like them a lot. But when I see that it's costing, you got to move around, find something else to do. I'll help you do that. Maybe find something more suited for you. But you can't just let people take money from you and say it's all right, and then encourage them to do that. Because what you permit, you promote. People are going to give you more of the thing that you allow, particularly if you're the shot caller. Hello, caller, you're on.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, sweet. I tell you what, I was listening today.
Yes.
It's Deborah.
Hey, Miss Deborah, what's good? What's good?
Well, I was just thinking a few things. Remember when Kamala said Trump is not a serious man?
Mm-hmm.
People didn't pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, when he was out there where his ballroom's going to be built,
Mm-hmm.
Some of the reporters asked him questions about the war and ending and this, that, and the other. And he said, oh, it's too complicated for me to explain.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he?
It's too complicated. But it wasn't complicated for him to talk about that ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the wall is going to be this, and we're going to have this in the basement, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Because he's a builder.
Yes, yeah, yes.
But he's not building the us. He's not he's not building up. He's not being. That's not the word. That's not the proper word. He's not being presidential.
Mm-hmm.
His focus is on personal things for him, sweetheart deals for him and his family. You see what happened with the taxes. I heard you guys talking about that.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I just wanted to make that comment. And also, the NAACP, these states that are doing this, the gerrymandering, they want historical black colleges that are in those states to boycott. They want the young people want to do something. They're rising up. They said we want to do something about this because this is going to be affecting us. Because
I'm interested in that. I'm going to talk with Ralph about that too. That's quite an interesting conversation. I think I got an inkling of what Ralph was saying the other day, and I'm on a similar track with Ralph. I just want to. I hear that, but I need to know is a tactic as opposed to a strategy. Okay, you keep the black athletes. I'm just not hearing enough about it.
I mean, the NWC it's just we have to start being strategic about a lot of things.
Yeah,
so I'm glad
yeah.
that the NAAC is coming out with this, and the young kids are speaking out. They had one basketball player. He was talking, and he was just saying that he's just amazed. That he said he cannot believe this is happening. He's 20 years old. He's very shocked about that. But,
what did he say about? Did he say anything about his position on it?
Yeah, they're for it.
Oh,
the young people are rising up. They're like, yes, that's not right. They say, we're representing this state, and they're taking away districts that my grandparents lived in, and my parents lived in, and doing this redistricting, they're for it. They're mobilizing all these different states where they're having this gerrymandering going on. The southern states, they're starting to mobilize. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do want to have that conversation. I want to look into it. I tell you what, my inclination is right now to say, okay, let me see how we are going to support them when they do that. That's what I think is important. To have them. I don't want to make living sacrifices out of these young people too. You know what I'm saying? And it's good. They do have a place in the fight. But I want to be sure that it's not going to be a repeat. And I guess you never can be sure, Deborah. But I want to be certain that we are conscientiously doing that we're taking it seriously ourselves, that we are not going to be as forgetful as we were in the aftermath of the 1965 Civil Rights Act and the Fair Housing Act and the many other accomplishments we had. We produced for economic foundation this time. The needs are different. Needs are different than they were back in 1965, and I can say this because we could barely get hired during that time. Economics was we didn't have a great financial understanding. Some people in our community did, but we weren't going off to colleges, and we weren't learning about finance. And as a result of that, downstream, many decades later, our kids went into our kids. A few found their way to entertainment and sports, and that's a good thing. But so many others failed to go into trades or go into. I mean, we've got a different, and some of those shops were union shops. We're closed to them and things now. We got to make sure that not just the athletes who are going to put their futures on the line, but for the other kids who are their counterparts, we want to make sure there's an economic place for them in our society. That anything short of that is not really reform. Any reform that depends upon short-term stuff, because people die. People die, right? So we've got to have an infrastructure to support what they do. In other words, if they make those moves, we got to be prepared for a backlash, and there will be one. We need to figure out what it will be like, because though I can assure you, no, I can't assure you. I can assure you that I think that colleges right now, since they've heard this, they are making plans. What can we do if we don't get the kind of recruits we want, or if they go elsewhere, and they will get in some congressperson's ear and they will begin making rules right now to level the playing field so that these colleges, the blue chip colleges, I guess you'd call them, are protected against this in some kind of way, and they will exert. And we have to find out what kind of way that is. But we got to think. We got to think ahead, just like that.
Well, everything you said is so true, and I believe that people are these young people, and then people that the NAACP and other organizations, they are putting their thinking caps on, the things they should do to mobilize into finance things if they need any type of assistance. But yeah, so that was one thing. Two more things I have to say.
Sure, go right ahead. Take your time.
I was listening to the attorney, and she was speaking about Al Green and things like that, and I was just like saying, I was just really just cheering her on because it's so true. And I think that people really need to think about this, and I mean, look at his track record. Look at all the things he's done, not only for his district, but for the black community in whole, like Sheila Jackson Lee had, and even may they both rest in peace, Sylvester Turner. But Monday when I went to go vote, I live over between Sugar Land and Missouri City, so I went there to Missouri to go vote, and the guy was like, "Oh, well, where'd you vote before?" And I said, "Well, I voted such and such." And he says, I felt like I was a criminal, like I was trying to do something wrong. He says, "Well, ma'am, you're at the wrong voting place. You can't vote here. You have to go back to where you voted." So it was confusing to me because I thought that, well, I should be able to vote because I've lived over here for 2 years now. But make a long story short, I said, "Okay, fine, thank you." I took my driver's license. I went to where I voted, where my daughters graduated from high school. So that worked out fine. So that's why it's important. And I listened to that one gentleman talk about the problems with his situation with the voting.
Yes,
so it's so important for people to get out and vote early because things arise.
That's right.
And I just thank God that I was able, like, okay, cool, I'll go there, and I did. And the last thing I wanted to say, so people get out and vote early, vote in the rain, get out that umbrella, vote.
Yeah, all right.
I want to say this thing, Terrence, about Cassidy.
Yes.
So now Cassidy said he's locked and loaded on Trump now. Well, why weren't you locked and loaded on him when you were the last the vote to confirm Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and you're a doctor. You're a doctor. But you gave your vote was the last one they needed, and they got their vote. Then with Massey, I was watching the news, and this lady, they were speaking to me when they were coming out the voting booth or before they were going in. And they said, well, did you? I didn't vote for Massey. And she said, well, can I? Why is that? Because he voted to impeach Trump, and he said, ma'am, that wasn't Massey. That was Cassidy. Oh, well, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And I heard another reporter say that she pressed this woman on why she disliked Massey, and she just couldn't find a reason. She couldn't find a bill. She was unfamiliar with the bills that she was being asked about, and when it turns out, the woman said this morning, she said, and it turns out the woman was she had heard Donald Trump say, in the end it came down to he betrayed Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said he betrayed him, and so that answer was good enough, Yeah, so that's how influence works. All right, Miss Deborah, we thank you so much, and thank you for being here, and thank you for all you do in our community as well. All right, bye-bye. Hello, Sandra Smith Lee, how are you this morning? We trust you're doing well. And I gotta say good morning to Sheila, and good afternoon to Sheila now. Sheila and Brent, good afternoon to you. Sarah Moses, Joan, how are you? Joan Edwards, good morning to you. And to my man Malik Kenyatta and Pretty Black, how are you? We trust you all are doing well. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Thanks for taking my call, Your Excellency.
Yo, what's going on?
Ask me one question.
What's that, sir?
At what age do your common sense please you? I don't understand this. This reminds me of David Koresh. This guy's talking about the art of the deal. He's able to pull out one of the biggest scams there is. Well, not only him, but his whole family. How do you justify that to the taxpayers?
Well, here's the deal. You don't have to lose your mind. All you got to do is cause people to lose theirs. That's what. It's the people who go along with that have lost their minds. It's the people who appear to us to be sane, right? And then they assure us that they're sane. Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then you get it, and then you give them the keys to the car, and you find out they're drunk. So,
can you tell me how many people went to Trump University?
I don't.
Because if there's many more like that, we need to be aware of it.
Yeah, buddy. yeah. Well, Trump steaks, Trump wine, and the charities, the foundations. It's not like people don't have any indication that, well, maybe this is a little shisty, They just can find justification for it. And something tells me the reason is because the payoff is very important to them. What could be the payoff that would keep people ignoring reality? It's got to be something that they're getting. What do you think it is that they're getting? The voters, people who support it.
Yes, sir. This guy, in my opinion, now, when he went to China, it wasn't because of us. He went to China to set up him and his entire family. That's why in his business associates.
Well.
Behind deals. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
When you get out of office and stuff, you set up. This is another example that leads to him doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
This guy can go offshore and set up all kind of taxes in places, put money, hide money. But he can't be investigated.
But those people just they don't see it the way they don't see it the way that we do. And I'm not concerned because they don't see it my way. I think this though, I do think, as I was saying to someone else, I think they're failing to see the danger in it.
Yeah.
I think because
in your way.
Yeah.
We want to stand for it.
Yeah.
If they're not concerned about sending our way, then what good is it put them in the position? They're not going to protect the American interest.
But they don't see that as voters right now. They are where they are. They don't see that. They don't see that.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he brings back Trump University, I'll be one of his first students. Thanks for taking my call.
I'll talk with you later, man. I'll talk with you later, bro. It's 3 minutes after the hour. I'm Paris, and it's good. And you can go vote. Make it out there while it's dry. Get in. And some of you are super special anyway. You can walk between the drops. So I know some of you don't have to worry about getting. Scurry doesn't have to worry about getting wet. And my guy Reggie, and some of you don't. We know how you are. We know how cool you are. Let me say hello to Ralph's crew, baseball. Jimmy Montgomery, James Montgomery, my man. Yeah, and Nate, the head of state, Griffin. Good morning, good afternoon to all you guys. That's that Gemini in me, that split personality this morning. We blame it on that. Hello, caller, you're on.
Hey, is it afternoon or still morning?
It's after morn.
It's after morn.
Yeah, that's I guess that's going to be my equivalent of brunch now. Okay. Yeah. What's going on, Bo?
Paris. Good morning. Well, good afternoon.
Yeah. It's 4 after.
Man, I was listening to your monologue this morning, and then I was listening to you and Texas Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I need you to do is I need you to have an open bar in the magazine. So I can follow Texas Mike. I need a Long Island iced tea. Maybe I can follow him. But Paris.
Yes, sir.
I'm just thinking about this whole process of where we are right now. And like right now, as you and I think the young lady Deborah was talking, and she was looking for a polling place. I'm thinking about the window of voting that they didn't close down to 5 days. My wife is out of town taking care of one of my kids,
Mm-hmm.
and she gonna miss that window because it's so reduced.
And what do you make of that change? What do we call that? Well, you know what I mean. You
Voter,
see where
it's called voter suppression. It's called voter suppression, Paris. And I mean, you have to wait for the window to open to even be able to vote. You get what I'm saying, Paris?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's been the strategy ever since they've been trying to reverse this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just amazed at where we are and who people are co-signing with today.
Yeah.
And the rights that we're giving up as American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost think we almost need to put the Supreme Court on the ballot too. Because they made a concerted effort to take away our rights.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an utter amazement to me. And, and like I say, they took away seats here in Texas from us
mm-hmm.
as voters, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about an election that I helped a lady with years ago, and me and a cup of coffee kind of had this conversation
Mm-hmm.
the other day offline to kind of peek into something I'm thinking about, Paris, and this coalition and voting bloc. I helped Ann Harris Bennett with her campaign. It used to be the former tax assessor collector.
Yeah, right.
And the reason I know Ann Harris is because I know her sister, and me and her brother-in-law was real good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten a chance to meet the family. But I learned something volunteering with her campaign, and I wasn't an official volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
I was just helping them do it because my friend, he had got sick and he couldn't do it, so he asked me to come help his wife and his sister put out campaign signs. And so we started targeting areas, and then I'm seeing signs in areas that I know she's not going to get a lot of votes from. So in my mind, what I did, I started rolling out the Barrett Station. I started rolling out to McNair Baytown, Spring, Old Spring, and some other towns, some neighborhoods that we are in that we don't get targeted to be campaigned to solicit our votes, right? Yeah. And so she ended up winning, and they started getting numbers, and so she called her sister and asked her sister, "How y'all know to go in these areas? We getting votes in areas that wasn't even on our radar to even target those areas." And she mentioned that I was taking them in those areas, right? Because we do not have a strategy. And I think I heard Deborah or somebody else talking about a strategy. And this Democratic Party is impotent. And the leadership at the top of these Democratic parties and working on behalf of these candidates don't always have the best interest of the constituency of those voters, right?
Yes.
And it seemed like they're more concerned with campaign dollars and coffers than they are with the interests of people. And that was the reason I was so glad to hear our sister Jasmine Crockett when I went to a campaign event Sunday.
Oh yeah, you are the one. You're the caller. Okay, I knew there was.
Yeah,
I thought it was you.
Yeah, to say that she's putting together a political action committee because the writing is on the wall, Paris. Mm-hmm. We can't be the most loyal voting bloc, have the most and have the least amount of interest of that party when it comes down to putting our issues on the table.
Right.
Without having money and stuff behind us. And so we just don't need to look at this from a voter standpoint. And we need to start holding these Republicans accountable. We need to start holding these whoever is represented accountable, regardless if we voted for they behind or not. And so there needs to be a coalition of people, and we need to be engaged and quit being a lazy constituency. And that's the reason that we don't get what we want. Yeah, we vote in big numbers, but enough of us ain't even voting in big numbers. that have ideas and strategies that we could put together. I even love listening to Cup of Coffee. He got some great ideas.
Oh yeah, guy, we get it. Absolutely.
And so we're not that far apart. It's just, I just don't think the people on the other side don't even lend an ear to hear what I have to say or what my interest is. But they're antithetical to my interest.
Yeah, I gotta say, look, Coffee, Rayful, we've got people with ideas over here. I want those people to be heard. I want them to be heard. And the contention is all right. It depends upon the mind frame with which you perceive the problem. That's what it is about our perception. If you go in with anybody who thinks differently than I do is my enemy, we can't move forward productively like that. We might move forward in fits and starts.
And I love what Rayford did with the former mayor who's now running for the county judge, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's what has to happen. When you got money and you in the room, you get a chance to have a conversation and just oppose things to them. And then when they feed you a line of BS, shove it back in their dang face.
That's right. And then so now when I hear that hits differently. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You just if we can make each other aware, we don't have to convert each other. We can make each other aware and let the organic thing happening. Because if you're on the path of truth, then sooner or later, whoever's got the most productive idea, hopefully, will prevail. But at least you got to be exposed to one another to get that. Yeah. All right, Bo.
All right, Paris.
Got to run, Bo. You have a great day as always. Well, hello, man. Let me tell you something. I know who this is. Fred Woods.
Yes, sir.
Woods with the goods. Fred Woods with the goods. How are you? Oh, man, they tell me, I don't know, man. They tell me you're out there in politics now and you're doing great things. I don't know. Do I need to call in one of these high-level strategists or something, man? I'm going to have to call through your booking agents to get you here again.
No. You have my number, and I always make time for you. Always.
You certainly
yes,
do.
Sir.
You certainly do, man. You certainly do. And you always bring on people who are talking about the community, and it's because you are so tied to people on the north side, and you are so involved in the communities there. Can I hear about what you're doing now? Because I've heard some inklings of what's going on. Maybe are you running for office there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I am proud to share with you that I served as the Civic Club president, as a community leader, activist, and organizer, and I want to continue that service at City Hall as the next city council member representing District B.
Okay. All right. I just needed to know what's going on there. And so what? Do you got people? What's their turnout looking like out there?
Well, the election for my race is not until November of 2027. And as you're aware, in politics, as much as anything, early is on time and on time is late. So
yes,
I'm early. I'm ensuring that I get my name out there. I get more familiar with the communities that represent or that are within District B, and that they know who I am. They know the work that I've done, and I know them. You don't want. Let me say this. Any politics is a team sport. Government's a team sport. And representation matters. We should have representatives that inspire confidence, not only in them, but in the system of government working for us, not happening to us. And so it's very important that I have the community with me. And this is a campaign that embraces everyone, right? I don't know what's going on the street that you live on. So I need you to show up, speak up, and help me so that I can get the results that we all need.
Absolutely, man. Listen, glad to know you're out there working that magic. And how's your support team out there? Is it Ms. Woods? No, not Ms. Woods. That would be your wife, your secretary, Ms. Smith.
No. You talking about Miss Smith passed away last year in there around May or June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She passed away. Lord rest her soul. she was a jewel of the community, and she was definitely a fierce advocate for the community. She is missed but never forgotten.
Yeah, yeah. So I thank you.
In terms of support, I have a lot of supporters, a lot of big name supporters, a lot of community supporters, and I'm really appreciative. I'm getting some of my flowers while I'm still around.
yeah, man.
So,
yeah. Well, you've done so much to earn them, man. And what is it? The neighborhood? What's the neighborhood council? The name of the organization, the civic.
So I'm president emeritus of Northwood Manor Civic Club.
Yes.
I'm the co-founder and lead organizer of District B United, which is a coalition of every super neighborhood in District B, along with civic clubs, individual precinct chairs, and nonprofit organizations. I'm a precinct chair myself. I wear a lot of hats.
Well, that's why you know what they say: if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
Amen.
Because you know they're working. Because you know they're working. You don't have to wonder about what they're doing because they're already busy. Well, listen, it's always good hearing from you, and we're going to be talking to you as the date approaches, man. And thank you so much for. Keith comes in with community chat. Yes, indeed. So we'll be talking. You have a great day, my brother.
My brother on the front lines. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless, man. Take care. We are the source. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
And now a message from the future frequency.
Young voters, Gen Z and millennials, our world is moving fast, and the issues hitting your pockets and your peace, they're all on the ballot. Rent, safety, jobs, student debt, and yes, home ownership. Whether you're aiming for your first keys or keeping your roof steady, voting is where those issues get decided. So click off the mute button and let your voice be heard. Tap in, lock in, and make a plan to vote. The future is live right now, and you're the frequency.
This message is powered by the Diversity of Thought and proudly sponsored by 1230 KCOH The Source.
Saturdays, we're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks. Soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
Everybody's talking about the high price of eggs. Well, I don't know much about eggs, but I tell you this. If you want great chicken at a great price, how about Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside? Let's hear what his customers are saying. Michelle writes, Chicken Plus has some of the best fried chicken and best fried okra in the city. We stay about 45 minutes away, but the drive is definitely worth it. E. Max says, the chicken is seasoned so well and every bite has a special crunch. It's my go-to chicken spot when I want homemade fried chicken that's always good. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Great fried chicken, okra, rice and gravy, desserts. You're going to find it all at Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside. You don't have time to make the drive? Hey, no problem. You can order Chicken Plus on DoorDash and Uber Eats. You better do what you got to do to get your hands on some of that great fried chicken, the best fried chicken in the city. Great chicken at great prices. That's Chicken Plus. See you there.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental, 713-738-1999.
WeServiceUnlimited.com. WeServiceUnlimited.com. 833-937-3788. 833-937-3788. Well, hello! It's getting hot in here. You don't need to worry or have no fear, cause we serve. We serve you. Fix anything you think is nothing we can't do, cause we serve. We serve you. We serve you. Oh, we serve.
Big job, small job. Call We Service Unlimited 833-937-3788 or go to WeServiceUnlimited.com.
All right, we are the source. We are the source. Hit us up this morning. Hello, caller. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Parrish, better known as the Inside Man. The Inside Man. Hey, Parrish.
Yes, sir.
So I was thinking about you the other day. I saw a little piece there. Dennis Rush from Beverly, Andy Griffin show died.
Who did? Who?
Dennis Rush.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which I didn't. I said Dennis Rush. I didn't remember him. But anyway, so it made me start looking from you. You say you need to dig a little deeper. So I started looking around, and then what you, other than Paris Healy came up, what do you think came up?
What, Otis?
No, CBS.
Oh, CBS.
CBS. I said, I know Paris, but they talk about how dirty CBS was, and Paris Healy was just a business. So even
it's a dirty business. It's a dirty business. I can't deny that.
It's just a business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then the other day, you said you talking to your drill instructor friend, and he said, yeah, I was E6, and they said I was almost E7. You know, one thing we learned in military repair, the higher you go up, the more you get close to the BS or to the politics.
Yeah.
And even in the military,
yes.
you know, and this is why as the E5 I got out, because I don't do well at all with politics. Liars, liars, and but so as the Inside Man, I appreciate you, Paris, but you trying to without crossing the line.
Sure.
Paris, you better close your mouth. You better not tell them the whole truth. You can tell them part of the truth,
some of
but
it,
not the whole truth.
Yeah.
So get what though, Paris?
What about
when I was in Vietnam,
when
I found out what the whole truth was, guess what we started doing?
What?
We started playing dominoes.
I gotta go. I got to. Bye, Bobby. Thank you, man. We are the source. One of my favorite Marines. Hello, caller. You're on.
Hey, Bobby Ray, man, Mr. Bobby Ray, he keeps me rolling, man.
Yeah. What's happening?
What's going on, Paris? Over here, I'm at the airport today, so I'm not gonna be that long. But the prices that we're paying now, I just don't see any way that they're going to bring any prices back down due to the simple fact that they're saying, hey, these prices are high now. And you know what? They're still paying for it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're exhibiting the act that we can afford this, no matter how much it's going to hurt our pocketbooks, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
But until the people rally and find a way to get the message out that this is unacceptable and hold them accountable for what they're doing, that's the only way it's going to change. But I just can't with us affording these high prices in gas now, I don't see it dipping back down to anywhere in the $2.50 range. I think.
That would be a while, and then it's doubtful that it's going to go back down to what whatever we knew, there'll be a new norm. I think. Yeah, there'll be a
Yeah,
new norm.
and we're in the new norm right now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're paying for it. The consumer is paying for it.
Yes, yes,
I just don't
absolutely.
see that along with prices of food and things such as that. It's just gotta. But the thing, also the thing you got to look at, the business is also going to pay a price for their.
Wage growth is not going to be moving forward. Not moving forward. Wage growth is going to be relatively stagnant. It may tick up some, but the economists are saying it won't. It won't move up faster than inflation, higher than inflation, rather.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So anything you look
So
at,
your dollar will
the-
still buy less, even if you get an increase.
Yeah.
It will purchase less. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so we look at all of the black females who was the hardest hit demographic on unemployment. But you also have another demographic, which was another minority, which was the Hispanic group too. We don't hear about those numbers, at least not here. I'm pretty sure if you listen to another station, you probably would hear it, but we won't hear it here because we focus on that. But with that said, with the combined total of both, how much it hurts each individual and those unemployment figures. They're very high for the minority community. So,
but we should, and so if I can remember, I'll ask Sherman and Lydia to include that in what they're doing too, because we should know about that community, because we don't want to get look anywhere we can find possible allies. Where we can make common ground with our allies, even if we dispute with other races or people or groups on certain things, there are certain things which we can collaborate. There are some other things on which we can agree, and that at least is a basis
find that common ground.
Find a common ground. Yeah.
And it's not impossible either. So
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Working together. Coming up with a plan and formulating that plan. When you were talking earlier about the young athletes boycotting some of these southern colleges, right?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, as far as let's say the financial problem or issue we have with them. It's something that'll come up within the process. But remember, you're talking just the southern schools.
Yeah.
You have these other schools. You have your Ohio State, your Michigan State. You got your California colleges. You got your Oregon colleges, which are very competitive in the athletic world for having these colleges being ranked in certain divisions, how they do their top 25, things such as that.
Yeah.
It's not only southern schools.
Yeah.
These other schools in the West, these schools in the North, they're big colleges too. You got your Virginias, where Virginia's still considered southern, right? So, but then you have your HBCUs who could also benefit for something like that by getting a really high performing athletes to go to their college. But they'll still get that NIL money because your Ohio States and your Michigans and all those Big Tens and your Illinois, your Indianas, USC, UCLA, all these colleges, they're prominent colleges.
Yes.
And they have big NIL money for these for these students. So it just has to be a plan with the NAACP or
and I think the NAACP is indicating that they want this, that there's a viable action to this. Derek, I forget the head of the NAACP's name, has indicated that he is for some kind of action sparked by our athletes that would push back, using them as part of the leverage
The
to
process.
my own thinking is I haven't thought all the way through it because I got to hear what some of you guys are thinking and what a strategy would look like. I'd love to hear people.
Because you have your they put out what they call a top 100 players,
Yes.
College players or college athletes, recruits,
Mhm.
and they'll put that out. And of course, the parents are instrumental in these athletes are going to certain colleges.
Yeah.
And I think parents that are involved in certain political issues that's
Yes.
going on
Yes.
will notate to their kids, hey, I don't want you going to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I don't want you going
Yeah.
living in Mississippi,
Yeah.
and especially with the things that they're doing now,
Yeah.
when you can get the same amount of money, if not even more, by maybe going to Ohio State or Michigan or USC, UCLA,
Mhm.
colleges such as that,
Mhm. Right.
There are big colleges also that offer all type of academic
And see that's where my focus is. Whatever this involves, I would like to see it involve an education for the young person. I understand the significance. Sports raise a lot of money. Some of these schools only get as much money as they do because well, first of all, many of them have great alumni who got wealthy. But some of them, it's these sports that carry those schools and enable them to earn on the back of those athletes. So I understand that, but I just hope, I just would like to see a strategy that figures not just on using the children, but preparing the children so that there's an infrastructure who takes in their real lives supporting them. In other words, not just, okay, we got this fund and there'll always be some money there for them. I think whatever the strategy winds up being, we got to be sure that the older people, we older people, don't get sidetracked and forget what these kids are doing. I know you're at work, so it's nice of you to include us, and nice of us to. So I hear you calling my seat number now.
I'm on a little break now. Yeah, I'm on a little break now. But another, like you said, it's another thing because not all these athletes are going to make it into the next level, to the pro level.
Yeah.
You definitely have to have something to fall back on. Will these colleges have something for you to even work in their colleges? Are you going to offer me a job? Are you going to offer me a coaching job?
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to get my degree and then maybe even become a professor in whatever my major is?
Mhm.
Will I be able to exercise my ability to be in that major? And it's just an idea that these parents have to give with their kids that are exceptional in athletics.
Yeah.
So to make sure they understand their future. It's not just athletics, it's also getting into the real world, working world, things such as that. But it's interesting. Hopefully they will have a plan, come up with a strategy, like you say. So
all right, Scott.
Get your passport, get your birth certificate.
That's right.
Get out there and vote, people. You
That's
get
the
out
word.
And vote.
All right,
Stronger
buddy.
Together than apart.
All right. My guy, Ron Scurry. Hey, it's 22 before the hour. Hello, caller. You're on.
Mr. Ferris, I decided to give a second call after listening to Bo and Mr. Scurry there. But
go right ahead.
Listen, it just occurred to me that I have, as Trump famously says, I have an outline of a plan, and I'll reveal reveal that plan at July 4th. Dr. Wall's office, if they'll give me 10 minutes of time.
Yeah, we'll do that.
If I can get 10 minutes, that's
yes,
all.
Sir.
I just ask for being gracious 10 minutes. I'll come up with something that I think
I love it. The outline of a plan.
that we can work together with, and it just occurred to me that it may have a biblical outline to it. I mean, it just popped into my head. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but so anyway, I'll put that out.
Thank you, Coffee. All right, my man.
Hey, Paris, before you left, I wanted to say, listen, I can't. We. Dr. King, or even the courage of a Frederick Douglass that told white people to go to hell on the 4th of July.
Yeah. What is
as it relates to my celebrating your 4th of July.
4th of July. What is it to me? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I am encouraged by Batman and Commissioner Gordon have what they call the Bat Phone. Where they could, where Commissioner Gordon can reach out to Batman. So I'm always trying to reach out to a guy like Dean Douglas. If you ask me of all the people that I know that in private or public life that have the executive tenure and experience and management skill, I don't know anybody at a higher level than Dr. Dean Douglas.
Okay. Yeah.
Whether it be in public or private. I work with private guys who made a lot of money.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Right. And I keep reaching out saying, let's try to understand the conversation at the executive level. Okay, because that's where Trump sits. Okay, and if we, have a problem with that for some reason, trying to get these people to give us some of their time, to give us some of their opinion at this level of thinking. Okay, because we can go on and on and on at our level of thinking. Okay, and continue to murmur as the people did when they came out of Israel. All right,
the murmuring, stiff-necked.
Yeah, and as your friend just said, this is a business in that. There's a business model in that. I get that. But, we can go outside the line sometime, and I encourage that, right? And, are we going to wait till people pass away and then celebrate and say, man, what a great person this was? Are we going to reach out in some kind of way with a bat phone and, and say, hey, can we get this person on and have this person give us their opinion at that level of thinking? It's different. It's a different level of thinking at that position. Now, you would agree, or at least suggest that it might be, right?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I, like many other people, he was here at the, at the behest of Michael, and he reaches out from the community, and he has a rich heritage in this community. I mean, he has given a lot. You got to, in terms of his own time and what he. Yeah.
So why can't we get his voice?
Well, we have had his voice.
Not why can't we get it now and in the future? I know what we had.
Well, look, it's a matter of reaching out. It's a matter of reaching out to him. We'll do. We'll ask. Now you gotta be respectful of people too.
Well, if he tell you no, just say, hey, look, we reached out. The man said no. I'll drop it.
Yeah. All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we're bringing Michael back too, if we can. Okay. All right.
Hey man, I'm looking for now. Michael's a good guy, but I want him to be because he's set at that level of executive experience. Right?
Sure. Okay. All right. Good. Absolutely true, though. All right. 19 minutes before the hour. Hello, caller. You're on.
Hey, Paris. I'm calling back again. I just want to make a public service announcement.
Yes, sir.
A public service announcement. The district attorney, the black guy from Louisville, Kentucky, who refused to indict those cops that killed Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, I remember.
I'd like to let everybody know that last night he ran for Mitch McConnell's seat in the primary for Republicans, and he got his ass whooped by 30 points.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you are black and you're Republican and stuff, they only like you so they can use you because they don't want you. They got a sign for the Republican Party that said white on it. You know, and also one more thing, Paris, real quick. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but Elon, one of Elon Musk's baby mamas, actually is talking about how he told her on how he rigged the 24 elections on SpaceLink.
Wow.
Like I said, it happened.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. Yeah.
And real quick,
Yeah.
if you notice, Paris, he showed up again
Yeah.
in November.
Yeah.
And for Trump. And so don't be surprised. It's the reason why these people went in there is because of Musk control the satellite. That's all I got. I got somebody else, but I just want to get some information instead of me ranting to some black people out there on the radio.
Okay, buddy. All right. All right. We are The Source. It's 18 minutes before the hour, ladies and gentlemen.
Informative, entertaining, inspiring. It's the Jackson Political Report, hosted by veteran political strategist Ron Jackson. Ron will